Wendy Bell Radio is live.
Hey. Hi, everybody. How are you? Okay, can we just tell you right out of the gates the next mind-bending thing that happened to us with this whole cat situation? Tell them about the email you got.
Yeah, Bill Fred sent me an email saying that he's a mechanic and that he would donate his skills to help Lindsay with whatever she needed on her car, which is
stupid.
I know she has an in with some family run auto shop that's like right around the street from her. So
it's a tulip blooms kind of day, you guys.
But you want to teach me how to do brakes and rotors? I'm your guy.
Oh, you're asking Bill Fred to adopt you.
Yeah, right.
Regardless if Lindsay uses them.
Yeah,
you're like, you know what? We're together, babe.
I don't want to.
We got 22 people. We're breaking the internet on X. It's absolutely being shattered as we speak. Isn't that amazing?
I like to learn and not have to watch YouTube and stuff like that.
I can't read directions, so I'm horrible at doing anything. Put me in a kitchen with a bunch of ingredients and I'll make you something. But other than that, I don't know. I don't got no skills. How's everybody? It's great to be with you. We're getting up there. 1,000 people now on Rumble. Hi, good morning. Good morning.
Well, I'm going to post this to you guys. So Kate got a company car.
Okay.
So our other car, which is paid off, sat in a garage.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fine when I put it there, but it sat for the winter because she got a company car.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I wasn't going to drive the car when I have a Bronco that does better in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
And when I took it out, it felt like a pulsating in the back tires and brakes. And it looks like they're a little rusted. Can I run those out? Or does that mean I have to go get them changed?
If you're watching and you've got skills, go to the comments.
Yes.
Drop us a comment because it's hard to keep up on once the chat goes by, it's gone.
Well, Mr. Black Dog said he could do brakes before he could drive. That's when cars were able to be worked on.
Right.
Now they have that ABS, and I don't know if it needs to be calibrated or anything like that.
So what he's doing, he's trying to get cheap advice from you. So there you go.
Yeah. Free advice.
Yes,
not cheap. Free.
Different, not cheap. Free. There's a lot going on weather-wise apparently in this area, so we're all going to walk through it together.
I mean, I could always take the wheel off and just with a wire brush, maybe. I don't know.
Did you see that it was rusty?
You can see there's a little bit of surface rust on it. And when I ran it through the car wash, it seemed to run a little better. So I don't know if that.
Did you do the undercarriage blast?
Yes.
Oh, you son of a mother.
Oh, no. You can't trust people nowadays with anything.
What are you talking about? What do you mean?
Brock doesn't need a car repair fund. Brock just needs car advice.
No, we are done fundraising.
Yes.
There is no more funding to be raised. You guys are crazy.
Unless you want to send a lonely, poor producer to the Bourbon Trail.
Yeah, you have to put a bucket list together of places you want to go so we can go fund me your future.
I told you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And both shot that right out of the
both
sky.
of them involved me somehow and my bank account number. But other than that, I got nothing.
Well, how's that any different than GoFundMe?
Well, it's not really. It's not really. All right. Do you guys have your jar of Fs? It's a good time.
Ran out a long time
If you
ago.
have a jar of Fs today, today's your day to have them close by. Do you, in fact, have any more? Right? No, I don't either. Doc Wombat, Brock, go get you some WD-40. Here's $5.
Is that what it is? I mean, will that work? I have that.
Are you paying attention to what Doc Wombat is saying? I don't know.
Darius, don't like Brock for you. He's a 1%. You're right.
Let me tell you quickly, Tulip Blooms, tulipblooms.shop. I have it all over my house. It's like Sniper. I've got Sniper in every bathroom, and I have Tulip Blooms massaging oil all over the place. Every sink in my house has something on it. So you can dry off your hands, put in a squirt of Tulip Blooms, the most phenomenal essential oil you'll ever put on your skin, and then let it soak in for like 4 or 5 minutes, and then tell me how much you love me at wendybellradio@gmail.com. tulipblooms.shop/Wendy, 10% off everything. You know what I love, the castor, the blue face stuff, the Tulip Soothe, the velour massage oil. The stuff is mwah, mwah, fantastic. Fantastic. How you doing? tulipblooms.shop.
Someone says there's a brake cleaner. I might have to try that. We have an auto parts store right next to the beer distributor. And I drank my last beer last night.
You're so one focus. I love that. Wow, we're up to 61 on rum on
I'm out of beer too.
X. We're killing it. Slow going. Look at you guys showing up. I love you. Thank you for being here.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to your daily dose of facts to fight off the liberal gaslighting.
You can be in the middle of a hurricane.
You have sanctuary in the city of Chicago.
Or you can be on a calm day. North is still north. You could be in a thunderstorm.
I am angry. We are not going back. Not ever.
North is still north. People can yell at you.
The hell with the Supreme Court. We will defy them.
North is still north. It doesn't change fundamental things. And in this business, right is still right, even if you stand by yourself.
We don't get fooled again. No.
Live across the fruited plain and from sea to shining sea, we're converting the Marxist left 1 hour at a time on the Wendy Bell radio program.
Well, hello and greetings, America, to you, all of you across the beautiful fruited plain. Welcome home to the Wendy Bell radio program. You know, I love this show. We get to tell you the truth. We get to be honest. We get to be fussy. We get to dig into both Republicans and Democrats. We get to expose the truth about everything. And it is a delight to have you here. So thank you. wendybellradio.com is our app, and that is where you can join the live video stream all 3 hours. And in the commercial breaks, we really do enjoy talking to you. So if you'd like to become part of our army, go there, check it out. Keep coming back. I'm delighted you're here. Thank you and welcome home. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. You know, I noticed something this morning as all of this election malfeasance is beginning to not just drip out now. We've gotten to the trickle part of the exercise where, it wasn't just in New Jersey where people who have no business voting in our elections were voting in our elections. It's happening over here in Nevada. It's happening here in Pennsylvania. It's in Washington State. It's in New York State. It's all over, ladies and gentlemen. And you and I know that when there's a point that's made that makes the deep state uniparty of suck, but primarily the left, look bad, you've got to have a counteraction, right? There's always some form of a blowback. And so the blowback to the idea that, really, there are illegals voting. No, duh. What do you think we've been talking about for years? All these new polls have come out. Have you guys noticed? There's a new poll that says nobody likes Donald Trump. Nope. I don't know if you guys do, but boy, oh boy, according to this, you would be in the minority. How about this? Generic ballot polling. This is from Emerson, all right? In October of 2008. So this is, who do you want to take back the House, right? Who do you want? Do you want Democrats or Republicans? Which vibe suits you better? Do you like the whole Make America Great Again thing? Yes, we've got some rhinos who are really crappy and we hate them as much as you do. But we believe in traditional stuff, in family values, and in basic common sense living. We believe in, not being overcharged and having our money be stolen and given to other people who suck. That's sort of how we feel over here on the right. And then you got the left, right? You've got this lunge towards everything wrong with young people today, particularly wealthy, college-educated white people, brainwashed. I don't know if it's their white privilege that's eating them alive, and now they've got to come out and be like, you know what we need? We totally need some socialism and communism in this country. Do you want those people who want to promise you the sky, but actually just take money from the wealthy people? So everybody's pissed off and broke because that's what they're selling. Well, in October of 2018, Democrats were +8. It was a pretty big margin, right? People looked at the options and they're like, I like Democrats better than Republicans. October 2022, Republicans +5. Things swayed. A 13-point swing. And then in 2025, in November of last year, Democrats were up by 3. Wow. By June of this year, up by 10. And now this month, people say they prefer Democrats to the Republicans by 11 points. I say that's complete and utter hogwash. You mean the Democrats who gave us 20% across the board inflation over the last 4 years? The Democrats who gave us home prices up 35%, mortgage rates went up 148%, gas prices up 46%, and food prices up 21%. You mean to tell me that everybody, like those Skid Row voters who voted for Nithya Raman, also voted for that tax hike? They're like, you know what we need? We need higher taxes. Let's go. This is as stupid as anything you will see today. And I've got more proof of that. Ready? Donald Trump, 38% approval rating. 56% of people can't stand him. Can you imagine? This guy is Please. That means he's over the mark. It means he's making progress. It means the deal is happening. How about this headline from Mediaite? This is why the Democrats are in a total panic and the deep state is doing this organized propaganda Olympics, really what it is. AOC jumps out to a strong early lead in the presidential poll while Kamala Harris barely registers. Okay, you mean to tell me that the majority of people, these clowns polled, said, you know what, that AOC, I want me some of that. In fact, I want that more than anybody else. Oh, please. How about this? Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has jumped to the top of a new 2028 presidential poll while former Vice President Kamala Harris barely registered. Well, no, duh. She is brain dead. The University of New Hampshire. Okay, for whatever it's worth, University of New Hampshire, I'm sure they're fine, released the poll hours ago showing AOC leading the field of potential 2028 presidential candidates, nominees, followed by former Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg. Okay, right out of the gates in the first two sentences here, they're screwed. AOC is your girl, the girl whose #1 legislative victory was being a champion of the Green New Deal. Are you kidding me? The woman who pushed climate nonsense and went down to the border under Trump's first term and hugged a toilet, basically said people were saying that women are drinking out of the toilets in these detentions. But when they're flooding the border and getting raped, 67 times on their journey from South America, that's cool. Really? That's the one you want? The woman who chased 40,000 jobs out of New York when she was like, yeah, Amazon, I don't know. It's just so capitalistic. I mean, no, I'm not for that. And just poof, there go 40,000 well-paying jobs, ladies and that woman is sitting pretty at the top of the heap with 22% support of these presumptive Democrat voters. And Pete Buttigieg, can we say he's following closely behind? He's grown out his big, thick lumberjack beard because he thinks that being gay apparently is not a good thing to run for president. Whatever, nobody cares. We care that you were a horrible mayor. We care that you were a horrible transportation secretary. Hey, Pete, it took you 3 weeks to get to East Palestine, Ohio after the train derailment, and those freaking rock stars were like, I don't know, Earl. What do you think we should do? I don't know. We could drain it and, then lift it up and take it off the tracks. Let's light it up. Okay. And then goes all of the toxic chemicals for how many miles? Where was Pete? Well, he wasn't in East Palestine, Ohio. And then when he did show up 3 weeks later, he lied and told everybody, the water is great. Don't worry that you can see like that rainbow oil slick on it out of your faucet. It's going to be just fine. Who's next? Mark Kelly, the senator, the seditious sixth senator, Mark Kelly, former astronaut who's run on gun stuff because of his wife, Gabby Giffords, right? What's that fool done? Nothing. Gavin Newsom barely registers. Why? I don't know. Maybe because this New Hampshire poll has people there at least seeing him for being the derelict fraudster that he is. You guys, this whole set of polling, right? Trump's bad. AOC, everybody can't wait to get a slice of that. And boy, Pete would be fantastic. Oh, by the way, let's not forget all of the air traffic controllers, that all of the muddying of the requirements to be a qualified. You could be an epileptic under Pete Buttigieg's Department of Transportation and FAA, you guys, and control planes. Tell me that makes sense. They're scared. That's it. They're scared. The money's drying up. Fraud is being exposed. The aliens that they brought in with your money, we know who they are. We know what they're doing. Everything they get behind turns to dust. Everything. Every agenda item has some nefarious backdoor where somebody else is getting paid and somebody's getting screwed. And it's always you. There's no way. In no world are you going out and polling 1,200 people right now and having the majority say they just can't wait to get the Democrats back in the saddle. Look, Republicans suck too. I'm with you. But I think we at least have a framework. It's now just about carving out the rhinos and getting in some actual patriots. We're well on the way, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, J.D. Vance in the same poll, 36%. Marco Rubio, right behind him, 26%. When they're putting out polls, guys, they are gauging which way the winds are blowing because they're lost at sea. That's what I read, 100%. AOC's all excited. She's made the news headlines again. Good luck with that, Democrats. See you in 28. When we come back on the Wendy Bell radio program, the narrative is kind of changing about this whole illegal alien voter thing. It went from it never happens to a whole new strategy. I can't wait to share it with you. You've already heard it. Next on the Wendy Bell Radio Network. The polling just tells you the polling isn't telling you anything. It's gauging your response. That's what it is. It's a Chinese spy balloon. They float it up there and they wait to see what people say. Because if everybody piles on and they're like double-barreled fungu, I don't think so. They changed the stories. Did you see Harry's out now again after he was glowing about Trump? What's the new one today, Brock?
Oh, boy. I don't remember. Oh, I know why that looks.
Wow.
Need some more water?
I'm going to say that if you're going to drink Dr. Gundry, you've got to shake him up. I just got a mouthful of concentrated dietary supplement weight loss powder, which, by the way, is delicious, but not in the powder form. I just got a whole mouthful of it. But it's great. Dr. Gundry, he lost 70 pounds. He invites you to as well. The Healthy Fat. thehealthyfat.com/Wendy. I mean, like, honestly, of all the stupid things that you could do, you're already drinking water, right? Why wouldn't you want to just put a scoop of this in it and not be hungry for 5 hours? How's that for helpful, right? If it did nothing else, wouldn't you be jazzed? You'd be like, thank you, right? But it does more than that. It does more than that. MCT Wellness, but you can get it by going to thehealthyfat.com/Wendy. It's what I drink every day after I shake it up. We have to talk. Do we want to do Cozy Earth today or tomorrow? We'll have to see if we get some higher numbers. Things are kind of sluggish out there today. Hey, if you're watching on X, do me a favor and share. Just hit what do they have to do, Brock? Just hit repost or what?
Yeah.
I'd love that.
Things.
I would love that. We'll see if we can get up to, I don't know, maybe we'll get up to 800 today on X. That would be a big number. Be a big number, let me tell you. How's everybody? Hi, Rosebud. What's going on, Carla? Hi, Darius. Hi, ornery old fart. Hey, JW Pierce. Good to see you, Stephen G. What's up, sugar?
What classifies as old? Whew. Is that all depending on who you ask?
Well, yeah, like I remember.
Ask a 10-year-old, I'm old.
Right. No, I remember being 13 and my mom turned 40 and I thought, dang. Woo!
She's getting old.
Holy mackerel. And that was 16 years ago for me. So.
Right.
No.
You said when you were 13?
Yeah. My mom was 40. I'm
I thought you meant like 16 years ago.
Right. Because that's what I do so much. See how fast he jumps on me? Polling out there. We got another one to drop on you a little bit later on the program. You know, we got to think about this very skeptically because polling, just like the fake news headlines, just like the garbage the congressmen and women and the senators drop on you on the steps after work each day, it's propaganda. It's meant to get you somewhere. It's meant to push you somewhere. Why can't everybody just knock it off? Why can't you just go do your job and do it to the best of your ability like you told your constituents you would? Why can't you do it with honor? Why can't you do that? Why can't you tell the truth? What is so hard? What are you hiding? What are you afraid of? I think that's the real story. I want to play you guys this super cut. Okay, so the narrative is changing now that there's no evidence that illegal aliens are participating in our elections. After that went in New Jersey this week, and by the way, it's gotten worse. It's not 6,600 illegals who've registered and several hundred to vote. It's more than that. I want you to hear now how we're moving away from some of the stuff. It's a problem that doesn't exist. That's where we were, okay? Now it's going to be, yeah, but it's not enough cheating to really make a difference. Let's remember where we were with this supercut. There's no evidence.
There is no evidence that undocumented migrants vote.
We're debating a problem that does not exist.
This is a solution in search of a problem that does not exist.
The evidence is almost no illegal immigrants vote. Some benign effort to tell the small number of illegal immigrants.
The reports show voter fraud is exceedingly rare, but there's a couple things we know about the administration.
Citizen voting in federal elections is already illegal.
There is no evidence of fraud or corruption.
All because we don't have a problem with illegal aliens voting in the country.
It's not an issue that you have undocumented people in mass numbers voting. You know.
Very, very rare instances, but then just make the bill workable. But
it is absolutely vanishingly rare.
There's no evidence that non-citizens are voting.
I think they think that it's already against the law for
talking about a solution to a non-existent problem. Again,
foreigners do not vote in our elections. Maybe it's partly about the SAVE Act, which is a ridiculous solution to a problem that does not exist. Foreigners do not vote in U.S. elections. That's the fact.
It's already illegal for non-citizens to vote in the United States. They face prosecution and jail time for doing it. The Save America Act attempts to solve a problem that does not exist.
Well, you know, it's also illegal to murder people, and people do that anyway. They're dick. Oh, dick. Right? It's illegal to shoplift. Well, we know that happens all the time. It's illegal to do a bunch of stuff. It's illegal to cross our border and then break our laws to register to vote and vote in our elections there, Dick Durbin. Now, Allison Steinberg, she's with Pocahontas. She's with Elizabeth Warren. And she says, Senator, again, this is the gal from Lindell TV who's killing it. With New Jersey now admitting thousands of illegals are registered to vote and hundreds already have, are you more or less interested in passing the Save America Act so we can knock this crap off? Let's listen in.
Hi, just a quick question for you. I know you're vehemently opposed to the Save America Act, but does the recent revelation in New Jersey with the aliens who are actually registered to vote change your opinion on getting that legislation passed?
Look, it is already illegal for someone who's not an American citizen to vote, period.
But
That's the
at
law.
least 400 aliens that did vote.
There are already laws to prevent that.
Well, do you
And
think
if
anything's gonna
people
happen?
have violated the law, then they should be prosecuted.
Do you think
Easy.
anything's actually going to
Easy.
happen? I thought Democrats always said that there's no evidence of
I don't
illegals
understand why you want laws that are already there.
But
That
they're not
makes
being-
no sense.
But I thought Democrats said illegals never vote, but obviously they do, right? Thank you, Senator.
It's already illegal. How's that an answer, Liz? How's that? And then Allison with Senator Tammy Duckworth, who's in a wheelchair, who knows why. She says she has no idea what the reporter is talking about. She's paid no attention to the news whatsoever. And this is a sitting U.S. senator.
Following the governor of New Jersey's announcement yesterday regarding the over 6,000 aliens that are actually registered to vote due to a flaw in the system in New Jersey, does that change the Democrats?
I've not seen that report. I'm sorry.
What about the president's announcement that there's over 250,000 aliens registered to vote?
I have not seen any of those reports, so I'm not at liberty to comment on it.
They were recently declassified. Will you take a look at them? Because Democrats.
I've not seen the reports. So when I get to see the reports, I will certainly. But certainly, we don't have such problems in Illinois. Thank you.
It's not happening in Illinois, not at all. Do you think she knows about the 450,000 missing unaccompanied migrant kids who came across the border and the Biden administration lost? Do you think she knows about that? I don't know about these things. It's like saying there's no election fraud. Donald Trump said all these cases, he got none of them. No judge would agree to hear the case. Does that mean there wasn't evidence? Does that mean the case could not have been won? Can two things not be true? That is a very despicable strategy on the left. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I didn't hear. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that. Yeah, I didn't see that brief. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not at liberty to discuss. It's a top secret. It's classified. Well, we're looking into that. I'm not so sure yet. We'll have to get back to you. Plus, polling suggesting Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is going to be the salvation of the Democratic Party. And you've got pretty much your table set. They're cooked, ladies and gentlemen. They got nada. They got no one. They got no money. They have no hope. Oh, I love this. This is going to be fun. When we come back on the Wendy Bell radio program, let's go back over all the people who are telling us it just doesn't happen. Voter fraud? No, never. Really? Next. Tammy Duck. You know, it was interesting. When I was home with my father, we were discussing some things, and he was making mention of something he picked up on from liberal friends when they talk about things and they're not very schooled in it. And my dad would say something as sort of a counterpoint, and the person who's the liberal would respond with, well, I don't know about that. I'm not familiar with that. I don't know what you're talking about, so I can't engage. I haven't heard this story before, so I don't know. And it's not a tell me what you know. It is a conversation closer. There's nothing else to talk about. I cannot keep up with you. You've got facts. I have shit. So therefore I have to stop. That's how they do it. And then like Chrissy Houlihan, She'll get in your face, get her body kind of in your grill a little bit, and then make you feel like you're the problem. You should be embarrassed that you're even asking these things. But see, when you see it, you giggle. You're like, wow, that is textbook. I need to write a new textbook for the Democratic Party. Do you think we should do that? I could make a buttload of money off of that. What?
It'll be a blank book.
Oh, no. I've got strategy for them.
Oh.
Hey, first strategy, if you're a Democrat and you're trying to fight, right? Do not take Blood Flow 7. This is not for you. We don't need you being able to walk farther, lift more, do more yard work, walk up the steps with that overflowing laundry basket.
Read more Donald Trump's declassified information.
This is not going to help you, Democrats. Now, if you're conservative, it's totally going to help you. You should totally get it. It's my number one jam. Wendy Bell, bloodflow7.com/Wendy. 30% off. This is natural stuff. This isn't pharmaceutical stuff. This is stuff that we know in nature that does beautiful things to relax your blood vessels so you get improved blood flow. And improved blood flow is a fabulous, fabulous thing. Bloodflow7.com/. I'm telling you.
I have the first chapter already for you.
Oh, do you?
If you're a Democrat, forget everything you've been told. 2 steps.
Oh.
Forget everything you've been told and turn off the news. If anything statement you're going to say starts with, well, I saw on the news.
Yes. Experts say.
Or CNN or CNN polling says, or the big one, Brian Stelter. Just
he is, but you can see all of them and you can see how
you need to refresh Bag of Durbans too.
Oh,
he's making a comeback.
Sometimes you got to get hit with the Bag of Durbans.
Yeah.
Sometimes
right across the face.
And it's usually before a throat punch and you get pushed down the stairs.
Yeah.
And it sort of is
the Bag of Durbans to see if it can be like, whoa, what? I was listening to Brian
And then they
Stelter.
go back and then you can go into the throat and then, yeah. It's a dance. It's a delicate art, but it's good. We can do this. Hey, Magic 8 Ball. Should we be hitting some people with bags of Durbans again?
I don't need the Magic 8 Ball for that.
It says it is certain.
Yeah, of course.
It is certain. And so it shall be done. Okay. Hey, thanks to Ireland Contract. You know what? I was looking through Ireland Contracting's website. And, there are those projects. They have those homes out in the Hamptons and then these magnificent Cape Cod looking like when you live in southwestern Pennsylvania, you want a badass brick house. You want a solid house with solid roofing. You want strong windows for the winters. You want it all fortified. You want somebody who knows how to do that. That's Ireland Contracting. Their whole website is just these beautiful, solid home renovation after pictures. And you look at it and you're like, that is what I want. I want strong, I want secure, weather resistant, and safe. And that is what Ireland Contracting gives you. Home exterior contracting, soffit, fascia, gutters, downspouts, roofing, windows, sun tunnels, all of it, and electrical. I got to get my guy out there. 1-800-NEW-ROOF, IrelandContracting.com. Hi, guys. What's up? Let's see how we're doing. 3,700. This is a beautiful and steady crawl. I love it. It makes me happy. 1.34 rumbles. Thank you. I think we were number 6 yesterday.
How many of you will still be able to watch the show from 10 to 1?
Ooh, if you can drop us a comment. Drop us a comment. Tell us if you are available beginning August 17th to go from noon to 3 instead to 10 to 1. It's when we're moving, but I'm interested in your guys' perspective. It's a good question.
People have donated.
Why?
Rifin Lady 20. Sorry I didn't donate the other day. I had technical difficulties for the kitty.
Technical difficulties.
BH Gutty $50 for Greta the kitty surgery. I think you guys have covered the kitty surgery. Appreciate it. Wait for the next time
I wasn't. You know what's great about this too?
That was not what it was. We were just trying to involve you guys in how we should spend the money that you guys
give us
by buying coffee.
When you buy Crescent Mountain coffee, right? Oh, by the way, we got some Crescent coming because one of our followers, I forget who it was, but I'll get her, bought us coffee. Shizzle for you specifically, Brock.
Nice.
I know.
I like
people care about you. I don't know why, but welcome back to the Wendy Bell radio program. You know, it is kind of like listening to a child lie, right? Go back to when your children were very, very small. And psychologically, the phases of development in the first 2 to 3 years, so interesting. You know, for a while, your toddler, specifically your toddler, not necessarily your baby. Your baby's already got you completely bent over, right? A cry, you race to them. They're hungry, you race to them. They just really want to be held. They cry, you race to them. They got you. You're cooked, right? Then they get a little bit older, toddlers. And toddlers think that if they're not looking at you, you can't see them. So they do things they're not supposed to do. And then when you ask them about them, they're like, no. And you're like, really? Because I saw you. I watched you. This is what we're doing. We're being treated to toddler time on Capitol Hill. That's what this is. And that is why it's so off-putting. It's so C-rate movie. I don't know. What's the worst bomb of a movie rating you can get? That's what we're watching. They're so used to getting away with whatever they want and being untouchable that they long ago stopped trying. It's like how people get fat in their marriages, right? It's sort of like, we're kind of together. We're stuck with each other. What are you going to do? Right? I don't really have to work hard, which is the exact wrong idea, right? But it happens. You get comfortable. You get lazy. You get complacent. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your Democrat Party right now. And they're doing everything they can right now in this recent adventure, watching real-time hypocrisy. Here are the Democrats telling us that voter fraud just doesn't happen. I don't know where you're getting this stuff from, but it does not. It's so rare, like barely ever. Jake Tapper yesterday, he's like, it's like infinitesimal. It's like, so like, if you look at all that and look at this, it just doesn't, it's like a grain of sand at the beach. Kind of not a biggie. Really. In fact, Elon Musk was right all along. There was no glitch in anybody's software. Of course, open borders, bringing in people who shouldn't be here to get them to vote Democrat. It was the design. So I want you to hear a clip. It's like a piggyback. And it starts with a 2021 clip of then New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy. And he's saying fraud is so tiny. Why are we talking about fraud? And then it cuts to now Governor Mikey Sherrill being like, yeah, about that. We've got some fraud. Kind of interesting back and forth. Let's go.
Tell the truth. I mean, the chances of voter fraud, and this is true, uncovering voter fraud is less than the chances you get hit by lightning. And I don't say that with any sort of amount of humor. We lost a lifeguard a couple of weeks ago in Berkeley Township, struck by lightning. It just isn't. It barely exists in terms of voter fraud. Now, does that mean that there aren't situations that come up that our folks deal with? Yes, but it's a de minimis frequency. It just doesn't happen. Our elections are safe and secure, and we're going to make sure we keep them that way.
In June of 2023, nearly 3 years before I became governor, A serious software error in New Jersey's motor vehicle system led to the improper voter registration of what we believe to be roughly 6,600 people in our state.
Well, not so fast there, Mikey, says the vendor, the Democrat New Jersey Governor Mikey Sherrill blamed yesterday for that software error leading to illegal voting in the Garden State. Well, that vendor says, yeah, we didn't do anything wrong. Give me a break. This stuff is up to the state, not to us. Company's name is Ademia. They're a French multinational company that provide identity-related security services. They have a lot to do with TSA PreCheck and the scanning there. Sherrill appeared to divert any government blame for the 6,600 non-citizens being added to the voter roll onto the software company that's used by the state's Department of Motor Vehicles. The company said ultimately, the voter registration buck stops with the state. You know, wouldn't it be refreshing if somebody just said, you know what, that was on us? If the people from Flock Camera were like, you know what, the Condor camera, it does zoom in on you and track you. You're right. We're going to disable those. We apologize. And instead, they're like, that's not what they're doing. The software in them must be programmed with some odd, and you're like, stop. Just tell the truth. Just tell the truth. People have been cheating forever. Forever and ever. The voter registration information, this is the vendor. This is the glitch vendor, right? Is transmitted to the New Jersey Department of State Division of Elections, which is ultimately responsible for verifying eligibility to vote. Information submitted by our company, Ademia, must still be validated and adjudicated by the Division of Elections. When something's wrong, they're like, oh, that's totally not in our purview, but everything, if something they need to be in charge of. Do you know who we are? We're in charge here. And you're like, which one are you today? So then there's that. And then the president drops a truth overnight, calling out Mikey Sherrill, the New Jersey governor, for way underestimating the scope of this problem. Again, this is one state, and that's not even the full degree. This is what the president truthed out last night. 35,152 is the new number just released by Homeland Security of non-citizens registered to vote in New Jersey. These are just the ones that got caught. The real numbers will prove to be many times this amount. They're all Democrats. Republicans get smart and straighten out our crooked elections, pass the Save America Act. And that led to this. This just in, breaking news. The Department of Justice is now launching a full investigation into the state of New Jersey for unlawful dilution of American votes. Look, we came to you. We asked you for the voter rolls. This is Harmeet Dillon. She's like, look, I'm the assistant AG for civil rights. And I asked all of these people from all 50 states, we want your voter rolls. And they haven't. But now that the governor has admitted there's a problem, it is absolutely appropriate for the Department of Justice to move in and to force New Jersey to hand over a copy of its entire voter roll database after admitting to enrolling fraudulent voters. And I wonder if it's too early for us to ask, Mikey Sherrill, do you regret signing that letter with all of the other Democrat suck governors now? You know, the one that says this? Joint statement from America's 24 Democratic governors on Trump's national address. It's deeply alarming that President Trump continues to try to undermine free and fair elections. No amount of lies and conspiracy theories can change the fact that our country's elections have repeatedly been proven to be safe and secure. Yeah, about that. Because if illegal aliens voting in our elections never happens, and even if it did, it would be such a small percentage of the total vote at all. Remember Nevada 2020? I do. Joe Biden won that state, allegedly, with 33,596 votes. In a state, Nevada, that had 89,000 illegal votes cast. So twice as many as the margin of quote unquote victory. Here's Senator James Lankford. He's in the crosshairs today. He's talking to Trump campaign attorney Jesse Binnall. This is at a December 16th, 2020 Senate Homeland Security hearing about election fraud. Guys, this was 5.5 years ago. This is right after the November election when Joe Biden allegedly won. And James Lankford, the senator, already had all of these details, which for the last 5.5 years, Democrats have told us, yeah, that's fake news. Let's listen.
42,000 people in Nevada voted more than once, according to your work in this. 42,000 people. 1,500 people voted in Nevada that were dead. 19,000 people voted though they did not live in Nevada and they weren't a college student. 8,000 people voted from a non-existent address. 15,000 people voted though they were registered to a commercial address or a vacant address, and 4,000 people voted in Nevada that are non-citizens. My question to you is, in my state, when someone votes twice, and we do have that occasionally, and about 50 times a year that actually occurs in our state, we prosecute individuals that vote twice. Of this 130,000 instances that you have identified from the 2020 election in Nevada, do you know of any prosecutions currently going on in Nevada for any voter fraud?
Not yet, Senator, and that's extremely important. These laws have to be enforced.
Can I just review that again? 5.5 years ago, what did we know? In a state Joe Biden allegedly won by less than or fewer than 40,000 votes. I can never remember what it is. 42,000 people voted more than once. 19,000 did not live in Nevada. That's against the law. 15,000 were registered to a commercial address. Again, against the law. 1,500 were dead. I don't even know what that is. Unbelievable. Tales from the crypt. 8,000 voted from a non-existent address, and 4,000 were undocumented illegal migrants. We knew that 5.5 years ago. Stop freaking telling us it doesn't exist. You piss us off. We all know the score. And don't try to insult us by saying everybody overwhelmingly by 11 points now. Can't wait to get Democrats back in office. That's a bald-faced lie. I hate liars. How about this broad, liberal hack Molly Jong-Fast? She's just like a stereotypical liberal chick, weird, multicolored hair, just weird, not normal, okay? Just saying it. She's on MSNBC. She's like, Donald Trump is going to try to use New Jersey as an example of voter fraud that, doesn't exist. Really?
And this was Governor Mikey Sherrill, Democrat, just voted into office there, went through the voter rolls and did find 400 instances where non-citizens were able to cast a ballot. How concerned are you about that?
I mean, again, good for her for transparency and talking about it, and those people are no longer on the rolls. And look, that is good. The question is, does Trump now, and we're seeing this already, use it to prove a point that doesn't exist?
Apparently, Molly Jong-Fast is the only one who didn't get the memo that we've moved on from. It's a problem that doesn't exist. Clearly it does, Molly, because we've been talking about it since freaking 2020. Well, you were gaslighting in the Olympics for it. When we come back on the Wendy Bell radio program, the ever-changing narrative about illegal voting must have Democrats totally exhausted, right? I mean, it's gymnastics. Woo! I'm bushed. Next. Oh, it's so ridiculous. Some people ask me, and getting a gold-backed IRA isn't something that necessarily requires you to have cold hard cash in your hands and hand over. Like if you have investments, if you have other things going on, you can get an IRA backed in gold and silver very easily. And I want to tell you a little bit about it. If you feel the way everybody else does, that our money doesn't feel like it goes as far as it used to, it doesn't. And when you worry about this crazy shift to digital currency, you think about what happens to our cash. That's why we're seeing an unprecedented need for an alternative store of value. And for a lot of people, and I will say for my family and me, it's gold. So visit wendylovesgold.com to learn how you can protect yourself and your family from inflation by diversifying with gold. You can learn all about gold eagles, gold buffaloes, gold bars, gold rounds. I'm a huge fan of the gold brick. I don't have one, but they look cool. You can join the Wendy Loves Gold email list. You can be the first to learn about precious physical metals and how you can get them into your IRA profile. And they're constantly putting out, some people collect stamps, some people collect coins, whatever you collect. If you want a really cool collecting thing that grows in value, that you can pass off to the next generation, it's calling Wendy Loves Gold. 855-927-5557. 855-927-5557. WendyLovesGold.com. I mean, think about it. We bought a bunch of stuff based on our son's birth years. And so you could find gold and silver and coins minted in other places based on your heritage, based on world events, based on history. And they will work for you to get you these coins into your hands. It's kind of cool when you spend your money buying something special, extraordinary, shiny, and cool to the touch, but that it's going to grow in value indefinitely. That's the exciting part. That's why I say don't sit on a bunch of cash. Call my friends at Wendy Loves Gold. 855-927-5557. Molly Jong didn't get the memo that we've moved off of. It's a problem that doesn't exist. To now, it's a problem that clearly exists, but not at scale. I mean, it's not big. Well, talk to Marionette Miller Meeks about that, the Congresswoman from Ohio, or Iowa, rather. She won her race by the skin of her chinny chin chin. So yes, it absolutely matters. 315 now on X. Look at you guys who's been sharing us. How you doing? I'll investigate Rumble now and see if I'm as lugubriously stunned. Almost 4,000. Very nice. 1.52 Rumbles. Me. Right. But beggars can't be choosers. Right? Right. I love the blame game on all of this.
Sometimes if you beg enough, you might have options.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Beggars can't be choosers.
If I beg enough, I have options to do what?
I don't know. Whatever you're begging for.
I was begging for a few Rumbles. 1.52 after an hour is awful. Like I was hoping for like 1.7. Ever-changing narrative about illegals voting. Why do you have to have a narrative? We know they're here. We see them. We saw them in our grocery stores. We saw them at Walmart. We saw their EBT cards that had $10,000 loaded onto it. We saw them being housed in our airports, in our sheriff stations. We saw them being fed at hotels. As American citizens slept on the street homeless, we watched it. Don't tell us it doesn't exist. Don't tell us this is a figment of our imagination. Don't insult my intelligence. Here's Scott Pressler, who undeniably is singularly responsible for flipping Pennsylvania red. Purple at the very least, but red in the last election. And Carl Higbee has him on last night on Newsmax. And they're talking about how the left's story about illegal voting seems to change with every new blow of the news cycle. There are elections, in fact, that are decided by just a handful of votes. It freaking matters. One is too many. One is too much. Here's Scott Pressler.
You know, the Democrats, they've got to be really tired right now from all the goalpost moving that they've been doing. It started off with them saying illegal aliens can't vote.
Right.
Then it became illegal aliens aren't getting registered to vote by the DMV. Then it was illegal aliens aren't getting registered at all. And now that we have discovered non-citizens being both registered and voting, we hear from them, oh, it doesn't make that much of a difference. Well, yes, it does, because I have to say this, Carl. There was a member of Congress, Miller Meeks, in 2020 that only narrowly won her seat by 6 votes. Yes, every vote should be legal and lawful.
Absolutely right. Iowa Representative Congresswoman Marionette Miller Meeks, 6 votes. That shouldn't even be part of the equation. That's like saying, yeah, I'm a rapist, but I only have a couple people. I mean, it's not a lot, just a couple people. But I mean, who cares? Really? Scott comes back. He's like, look, as America's get out the vote guy who's registered, I can't even imagine how many people Scott Pressler has registered. It's got to be thousands upon thousands, him individually. He talks about how a quote unquote software glitch, which automatically registers thousands of people to vote, negates what he does on the ground, street level, mano a mano. Listen.
You probably single-handedly handed the state of Pennsylvania to Donald Trump by your efforts of voter registration. So when they say 6,600 people were registered illegally by the DMV, how hard is it to go out and register 6,600 people for Donald Trump?
To give you an example, the average of voter registration is 1 voter per hour, meaning in order to do 6,600 by hand in person, that would be roughly 6,600 hours that was done just by a software error from the Department of Motor Vehicles in the state of New Jersey.
So I was like, wow. So if New Jersey signed up 6,600 at a minimum, President Trump says the number is more like 35,000. And that's not even inclusive of all of the counties. He's like, it's going to be way more than that, right? So let's just look at that original number, 6,600, that the governor of New Jersey was like, yeah, we found these people on the voter rolls. They ought not be there, but Shazam, here they are. That works out to, for Scott Pressler, to register that number of voters to counteract the magic wand instant registration of 6,600 Democrats, illegal aliens. If he worked 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, he could register to vote 84 people a week. It would take Scott working 78 weeks, 1.5 years, working every single day to sign up enough voters to counteract the fraud that we know of at a minimum from those 6,600 registered to vote in New Jersey. That's mind-bending. I think what we're learning as a country is that there have been a lot of people who have been running around without any oversight. And it's not just in elections. It's with our money. It's with everything. There are people who have been doing the wrong things and hurting us for so many years because they could. Because nobody followed them. That's how feeding our future happened in Minneapolis. How do you get 100 people being punished for stealing, $300 million from the American taxpayer? Nobody even paid attention. Nobody cared to look. When we come back on the Wendy Bell radio program, my friend, oh my gosh. When naturalized citizens, Hispanics, call for the Save America Act. Wait for it. I literally thought we were at the quarter hour. This is a time warp. Would you people stop sucking the time from my life? Right? It's just like, I'm here and it's all of a sudden it's 3:00. Or as Brock would say, all of the sudden. It was like 3:00.
Does it make you feel good?
It does. It does. It feels like
as long as you feel.
it feels warm and fuzzy inside. It does. It's like taking a delicious sip of our coffee. Oh. Oh, okay. You can jump on now because this is a little uncomfortable. Oh.
Okay, I have a. Just so she can go back, put this in the comments.
Oh.
College football game, bourbon tour. Which one should Wendy do?
What do you mean do? I'll pay for it. Whatever. Right. Okay.
Which one?
Well, who are you taking?
Well, if it's the Tennessee game.
Well, it seems like you think I'm going to be booking you some extravaganza, but I ain't your travel agent. I'm not your Julie McCoy, sweetie bug.
Because I'm sure he'll partake in either.
I think Michael texted me this morning. Where is it? So how about Ryan came home from summer camp? They get 1 day off a week. And he and his day off group, 3 other boys, come walking in the door, and Murphy lost his mind. And they sat down and they looked starving. I put out everything I had. I made them guacamole. I got chips. I had fresh peaches. You know the peach I gave you the other day?
No.
I gave them all that. And then they made hoagies. And I had 4 hoagie buns left and all these cold cuts. And they just, they were Tasmanian devils. They were in and out in 17 minutes. It's ridiculous. That's how much my son loves me. Comes and he eats my food.
You came home for food?
Yes. Holy cow. Okay. So I sent our friend Tom Yakupin, who's one of the 2 guys. It's Tom and Tim, who are the masterminds behind Health Revolution. I'm just going to tell you the story. Brock has known Tom longer than I. We worked with him at our first radio station. I always found him to be above board on all things, to be extraordinarily thoughtful of clients, of your needs, health insurance, otherwise. Tom is not the guy who wants to make a buck off of screwing you. He wants you to have peace of mind. And you can also make money and run a business without screwing people. And that's how Tom has lived his life. So I sent an email to Tom and to my son, Michael, saying, hey, I've been talking about this. I want to connect the dots. Tom, would you please put Michael in touch with whomever you want at Health Revolution if he was going to call and do all of this? Michael texts me, wow, just got off the phone with the health insurance guy. Way easier than I thought. Thank you for connecting us. So a 26-year-old who has 0 knowledge of health insurance, and quite frankly, I've never had to do it either. It's always gone through Joe's work at the hospital, what have you. And I would probably vomit if I knew how much it cost. I would die because it's right. So Michael's like, I don't know jack about this. And he's learning how about taxes and all of this stuff. And then this is his parents, what we teach, right? As much as I can. Health Revolution is going to help Michael get insurance.
You had a guy.
That he's got a guy. info.healthrevolution.net. info.healthrevolution.net. 800-868-6187.
I will personally vouch
for Tom Yakupin. 100%. 100%. So if you're
home,
if you're under the age of 65, you sent him a pair of our rocks glasses, didn't you?
He was our 10,000th follower on Facebook. And we sent him rocks glasses. And he later became known to everybody I knew.
Mr. 10,000.
Mr. 10,000.
He's just an awesome guy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to think of
his son is the drummer for a big country star.
Really?
What's his name? Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. His son lives in Nashville.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So when you go on your trip to see Tennessee, you can then go swing by and see him.
Oh, he's probably on tour.
Just add that to your tab.
I'm going to have to figure it out.
Anyway, that makes me feel much better, and I'll get more details from Michael to share with you. But look, if you have a child who is about to or recently did get off of the family insurance, and let's call a spade, none of these kids is being, paid rock star money. They need peace of mind, but they need something that's reasonable. Please, if you want to get in touch with me, I'll forward you on to them, or you can just get in touch with info.healthrevolution.net.
You country fans will know this name. Nate Smith. He's a pretty big deal.
Is he?
Yeah.
Can I tell you who my new favorite journalist is? He's on Fox News.
It's not Bill Malugin.
No, but I think he's good. He's very good.
Okay.
Trey Yingst.
You've always liked him. He's not new.
Yes, he is.
No, because we played him a couple weeks ago, and you're like, I love this guy.
Hey, at least if I have Alzheimer's, I'm consistent.
You don't have Alzheimer's. You have old timers. There's a difference.
That's so rude. It's not how
quickly you forgot professing your love for.
Come on, can we get up to 175?
Boyfriend there.
Look, I need 40 people to hit that thumbs up button. That's it. Button. Say it right. I'll stab you if you say it to me. I will. I will.
What?
Button. If you lose the consonant like the kids today.
I'm going to push this button right now.
You're not getting anything from me.
Here's a button.
No.
Button.
4, 3, 2, 1. Wendy Bell, America's anchor mom, fighting for America 1 hour at a time. Welcome to the family.
We're going to win so much. We're going to win at every level. We're going to win economically. We're going to win with the economy. We're going to win with military. We're going to win with health care and for our veterans. We're going to win with every single facet. We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore. Mr. President, it's too much. And I'll say, no, it isn't. We have to keep winning. We have to win more. We're going to win more.
3 hours of bold truth and excellence. You've just signed up for the WBR Army. Strap in. This is the Wendy Bell radio program.
Welcome back, my friends. Hour number 2 of the Wendy Bell radio program is live. WendyBellRadio.com if you'd like to watch and not just listen. You are always invited. All 3 hours are live streamed. Also, our podcast, Wendy Bell Radio. It's easy to get us if you want us. Okay, so I'm going to say must watch TV. You guys remember back in what was it? Was it the 90s? Friends? Was it Friends and Frasier and all that stuff that we watched on television? You guys remember. Remember must-see TV, Thursday nights, whatever it was. Well, it's far less sexy, but I'm going to tell you, you're going to get a lot more out of C-SPAN. I'm telling you what, they have better ratings than all of the networks. C-SPAN, your government television, right? Just watching in on House hearings, seeing how people vote. They have, though I do believe C-SPAN is liberal, it's biased in some of its stuff. The people who call in are fascinating. And I happened to catch, I wasn't watching it yesterday, but somebody sent it to me. And it was a woman named Reina. Reina is an Hispanic woman. I don't know what country she's from, but she is not an American. She is now. She came to this country and she went through the process. And if you've ever talked to somebody who's become naturalized, like my friend, my HVAC guy, Kieran from Ireland, like off the boat, F-bombing, son of a gun, greatest guy ever, hard work, honest as the day is long, literally send me a picture of him basically crying the day he became an American citizen. And it had taken him years. It's about a 5 to 7 year process. And there are a bunch of hoops you got to jump through to make it happen. You've got to learn about the history of this country. You've got to have people vouch for who you are. You have to prove that you are a citizen, at least in terms of making money. You're contributing to your society. You become a lawful resident as the first step. And you got to be that for like 5 years before the whole thing starts really kicking in. And this woman named Raina calls this show yesterday, and they're talking about ICE and ICE agents at polling places, and Trump is trying to overtake the elections and yada, yada. And this woman calls in and she's like, look, when I see an ICE agent, I do not feel fear at all. You know why? Because they freaking follow the rules. You have nothing to fear. There is no conversation that we should be having right now if people would just freaking follow the rules. If you would come to this country the right way. But you didn't, and many of you are hurting us, and you're draining our resources, and people are pissed. So here she is, Raina, calling into C-SPAN. Now, the guest on set with whomever the news babe is California Democrat Representative Gil Cisneros. He's also Hispanic. So she's calling in, and she's asking this about this conversation, and this is what she says. She knows the score, and she's annoyed that Hispanics, like black voters, got lumped into one big scoop, right? She's like, we know how to get ID. We know how to do these things. We're not stupid, and we're not falling for this lie. Listen.
I'm an immigrant. How do I prove, or anybody can prove that they are citizens if you don't have to show any ID? That's my question. My comment about ICE, I have a very Hispanic last name. I am not worried about ICE stopping me. And if they do for any reason, I have plenty of proof that I am a citizen. So I'm not going to run away. I'm not scared of them. So I don't understand what the big deal is about them catching the illegals.
And Raina, do you carry that proof with you? The proof of your citizenship?
Yes, I do. I do. And most of the Hispanic people do, the ones that are legal. And I don't understand why they keep saying that Hispanic people can't have IDs or, I mean, I'm not stupid. Hispanic people are not stupid. I'm not a victim. I'm a citizen now.
I'm not a victim. I'm a citizen. And Raina, do you carry that proof of citizenship with you everywhere you go? We all do, you moron. It's called your driver's license. It's called whatever she's got, whatever her level of identification is. Everybody does. It's like carrying your cell phone, right? It's like having your arm attached to your body. It's just what happens. It's like we're all baffled. What? You know how to get ID. Shut up. It's insulting. And Raina calls it out. She's like, why are we having a conversation about something that's not even a subject? Because people in my community who are lawful citizens, they're not worried about anything. They're busy working and making money for their families and saving for retirement and hoping to take a vacation. We're no different than anybody else. Why are you talking to us like we're some different kind of class? And then she says, why wouldn't Democrats who swear there's no fraud, why wouldn't they be the ones championing voter ID? They'd be proving how honest they are.
If I go to register as a Hispanic person, how does anybody, just by me putting in there that I'm a citizen, does that prove, is that enough proof that I can vote? I just want the congressman to answer that.
Okay.
I mean, if you're a Democrat and you really want to prove that there's no fraud, you would think that they would be in favor so that they can say, you're right, there is no fraud.
You're using a little too much common sense right now. The California Democrat Representative Gil Cisneros comes back. He's got one answer, you guys. And you know what it is. It's got to be discrimination. Bingo.
Okay, Raina, let's get him to answer.
So I'm Hispanic. I look very Hispanic. I got a Hispanic last name. Why should I have to prove that I'm a U.S. citizen when people who are white never get questioned about this at all? To me, how is that fair at all?
How does that have anything to do with anything? Voter identification is something that we would all have to prove. Period. That's the deal. It's a uniform requirement. You want this, you must do that, whether you're Hispanic or black or you're white. That is such a limp-wristed, lame-o, C playbook move, Gil. I mean, come on. That's his response. I look unlike white people, so therefore I get profiled, and they think I'm an immigrant. Well, you did bring in 20 million of them. Aside from your suit and your lapel pin, he continues. He's like, look, this is where he gets emotional. This is the emotion of the Democrats. When all else fails, pull at some heartstrings. And now, my poor mother, she has to walk around carrying her ID all the time. Oh, the tragedy. I'm sitting here watching this and I'm like, this guy is an elected representative on Capitol Hill. Honestly, no wonder California sucks.
My mother, I told her to start carrying her passport when she didn't want to stand in line to get her real ID. And I was like, Mom, what are you doing? You got to get your real ID. It's required now, right? And ICE, we were hearing stories of ICE picking up people. If you didn't have a real ID, then, you must be undocumented. So they said, start carrying your passport. But my mom shouldn't have to do that. We don't ask people with the last name Smith or Jones to do that. Why should we have to ask Hispanic citizens to have to prove themselves that they're citizens?
We all have to. I'm failing to see the victim card that this congressman is trying to play about his poor mom. No, she's going to have to carry her passport. Well, we should all be able to prove who we are, sir. Unless, of course, you aren't who you say you are, or you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing. Oh, stop it, Wendy, says Democrat Representative Josh Gottheimer. He's like, look, I don't know about you guys where you live, but it is just too damn hard to get a voter ID. I mean, really, this is what we're supposed to get?
And by the way, to your question about making sure on the identification side, part of the challenge with this current bill that's being pushed here is the depths of requirements behind the identification. It's multiple forms of ID. It involves passports, which lots of people don't have. It's so they want photocopies that you've got to send in with your absentee ballots. It's purposely designed in a way, in my opinion, to stop people from voting who should be able to vote, citizens, and making it harder for people who should vote. That's my concern. And by the way, that's a concern of a lot of us.
No, it's not a concern of a lot of us. It's making it harder for people who are illegal to vote. You turd, and that's the case. If you're an American citizen, you already have ID. Nobody who's not a citizen is out there walking around right now unless they had too much to drink and they left their ID at Dave & Buster's. I mean, honest to God, we all walk around with it all the time. It is a disingenuous argument by low IQ individuals who long ago stopped trying to revise the game plan because they were insulated and protected, and nobody was asking. Nobody was looking at the books. Nobody was sniffing around the data chain. Nobody wanted to see the chain of custody logs. Nobody was looking at the voting machines. Nobody was expecting that Fulton County storage facility to be raided and basically all of the stuff taken out. They were comfortable getting away with whatever the hell they wanted to. And then you voted for Donald Trump, which is why they hate you. You think they hate that man? No. They hate you. Howard Stern said so. Did you hear that? He hates people. He doesn't hate Trump. He hates the people who created Trump. Good. I don't care. When we come back on the Wendy Bell radio program, Geraldo Rivera. I know you thought he was washed out. He is. He just doesn't want you to think so. He's trying to resuscitate himself. You got to hear what he says. Oh boy, next on the Wendy Bell Radio Network. And this is about, the responses to what he said in this one thing. He's talking about the wrongful votes in New Jersey and how it's like, why are we wasting our time on something that doesn't exist? And the responses to it are like, probably not what you wanted to say there, Jerry. I've decided. I have a problem, you guys, and I'm going to admit it to you.
Uh-oh. Can I guess what it is?
Yes.
Late night snacking?
Yes!
Pringles.
No.
Pistachios.
Yesterday it was Skittles. Yes. And then I tried to blame Joe for buying the big drum of Skittles. And he's like, first of all, I hate Skittles. I never would have bought those. And I was like, damn it. And now I'm making up stories about who brought them into our house. I'm thinking that I have a real problem after 7. It's like if there's anything in the house that's salty, crunchy, I need to have it. I need help.
You do.
All right, let me see. You made me cry when you said what you said.
What, late night snacking?
Yes.
What?
30 capsules. Okay. I'm going to start taking GLP-1 Gold. So I would never take a weight loss shot. I obviously don't need to, but I'm still probably 4 pounds heavier than I want to be. And people are like, big deal, big whoop. Well, you know what? On a smaller person, it matters. It matters. It makes me feel a little dumpy. And I eat like a freaking fiend at night. So I'm putting it in my bag. GLP-1 Gold Juvenon, bloodflow7.com/Wendy. Look, I see the price of it. It's less than $1 a day. It's like $24 a month for this. So you take it and you don't eat a meal. I'm going to take it and not eat my face off at night. And I'll look into it and I'll see how long it takes. Because if maybe I'd have to take it starting at like 3 so it can activate before I want to eat everything in the house at 7. I'm going to keep you posted. But if you'd like to join me, bloodflow7.com/Wendy. Everything with Juvenon, it's affiliated with the show, is 30% off. How about that? How about that?
Now, can you be trusted not to get at 6:58 go?
Yeah.
With Skittles, beer, and dots?
I started eating Skittles this morning before I went to work. I know. It's like the older I get, the more I have to eat. I don't know what the problem is. Fatty Bobalatti on the way, guys. GLP-1 Gold, bloodflow7.com. Right? That's rude. I can't believe you just did that. Yes, I can. You're just not a very friendly person.
Wow.
So. I think I'm going to try.
If you don't buy them, you won't eat them.
I couldn't stop. It was literally, I was tearing apart my house.
And then you say, I'm not buying dots because I can't stop eating them. And then I get hosed.
No, then you gave me little bags of dots.
Did you eat them?
Yes.
Did you like the garlic and...
I didn't eat all of them. I only had the 2 original ones.
See, because I know that's fake news, because she's tried the honey mustard.
I did. I tried but I mean, aside from that. Oh, yeah, I'm trying to lie to you about it. That's what I'm doing. I'm confessing to you that I've got late night munchie bug, and it was part of my DNA profile. It said, watch late night eating. And I'm like, bastards. How did they know?
Push that.
Era was, I don't know, significant, relevant, interesting, honest, trustworthy, believable, impressive. No, I really don't either. But I will say for a guy his age, I think he's in his mid 80s. And he looks pretty good. But he makes a really stupid comment. And he tweeted something out yesterday. The 400 wrongful votes cast in New Jersey for president had no impact on the 2020 result. Biden won the Garden State in a rout with a margin of more than 700,000 votes. Do you guys believe that? Still, it is just substantive enough to refuel the president's obsession with, quote, rigged elections. Now, see, people like Geraldo Rivera fall into two categories. People who know they're full of crap and say what they're saying so as to throw you off of their crap scent, and people who have no idea what they're talking about and are talking out of their butts. Okay? So he's one or the other. I don't know which one. One is more offensive than the other, the one who's purposefully gaslighting you because they know exactly what the score is and they're trying to throw you off of it. Geraldo, I should say to you that Donald Trump, in my state of Pennsylvania, lost 700,000 votes in the middle of the night on election night 2020. So I have every reason to doubt your immediate supposition that 400 is just a drop in the bucket. Meh, it's nothing. The responses to his tweet were just blistering. This one says, only morons believe 2020 was legitimate. This person writes, well, step one, it's not really happening. Step two, yeah, it's happening, but it's not a big deal, which is where we are now. Step three, it's a good thing, actually, that it's happening. And then step four, people freaking out about it are the real problem, right? And of course, the one that's great. Let me get this straight. There's SNAP fraud, EBT fraud, Medicaid fraud, Medicare fraud, home health care fraud, daycare fraud, medical transportation fraud, and hospice fraud. But there's really no fraud in our elections. Got it. And then Geraldo stepped into a giant poo sandwich yesterday. He's still trying to get it off of his shoes. And he says the real problem here, it's not election fraud. It's the problem that this President Trump and the GOP have. They refuse to answer a very basic question. This is the dumb take of the day award right here, ladies and gentlemen.
The one thing about talking about the future and projecting what's going to happen is that we tend to then neglect what is, to me, the biggest story, political story, how Donald Trump, the President of the United States, has made liars of the entire Republican Party. He had, when you ask a straight on question, who won the election? If they can't answer that question, then everything else they're saying is BS. I just think that when the group think, it's like they've all had and I'm a Republican.
Well, it's a litmus test.
You know what, Abby? A litmus test when you win because you had the better candidate and because more people organically showed up and lawfully voted for that candidate. When you win in that circumstance, you don't need to ride it home every single day. You don't need to browbeat people to say it. You don't need them on recordings saying it to put into your promotional material. It's accepted fact. Everybody knows it happened because your record is unimpeachable, because your standing as a human being, as a political party, is believable. It's when you're a liar, when everybody knows that you're a liar, when you have to grift, when you have to cause a literal country invasion, when you have to steal billions, if not trillions of dollars of wealth from our children and grandchildren and give it to other people so you can stay desperately clinging to power. That's when you need everybody to say that you actually won, because it's not true. Isn't it embarrassing? We're now at the toddler Olympics. This is where we are. You're negotiating with a child. That's what dealing with the Democrat Party is. You get nowhere fast, period. And it's exhausting. When we come back on the Wendy Bell radio program, nothing seems to age all that well for the left. And now for the mother of all fake news stories. We're going to take you back September of 2024. NBC with a huge pie in the face. Next on the Wendy Bell radio program. It's delicious. If that's Geraldo Rivera's takeaway, he tells you everything you need to know about who he is in politics. He is one of the deep state hacks. He has a role to play. He has lines he has to read. He has to go back and make up and get it done and then come out and do his performance and then move on to see if later in the presentation he makes another appearance, perhaps in act number 2, scene 4, right? That's what it is. It's a performance and everybody has scripted lines that they have to deliver. The problem is all of the actors suck. The music is terrible. The storyline is predictable, right? And then they bring in a bunch of weird people who don't sell it, period.
I'm going to tell you 3 things that you'll all probably remember about Geraldo Rivera.
Oh, okay.
Taking a chair to the face when he had one of those afternoon talk shows like Phil Donahue.
Oh, did they try to do like a Jerry Springer? Somebody hit him in the face?
Yeah, so he took a chair to the face.
Did he cry?
No, but I'm pretty sure they broke his nose.
I'm sure that didn't feel good.
Him with his shirt off.
Was it a good look?
No.
Oh, really?
No.
Why?
It's an old man with his shirt off. And him on Fox News, how many of you remember this? Like trying to fight Dan Bongino. You're a geriatric.
I don't remember that.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Oh, they were in boxes. He's like, come on, yelling and screaming.
Plus,
I'm like,
Houlihan.
come on,
oh,
dude.
yeah? I'll sit down and we'll go over it.
Yeah.
Is it 1? Is it 10? Is it 100? And you're like,
Come
are
on,
you a
dude.
freak show?
And yeah, Bongino was laughing the whole time. Like
I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, this next segment I think is just,
Unfortunate.
I mean, holy moly. Wow. Kelly Morgan and Morgane's Fitness, the stories of 90 Ignite. I love that you could do it with a buddy. I think if you and your spouse are looking at each other and you're like, you know what, or not even each other, just you don't need anybody to tell you if you've put on some weight and you've gotten soft. You feel it. It feels weird, right? You're like, I want to fix this. I want to change this. It's great to do it with a partner, right? And Kelly Morgan in the 90 Ignite program, she helps you. You get the blood work done. And she goes over the blood work and other stuff, and usually a body composition analysis, which is important to figure out how much fat you've got. Various parts of your body she'll measure. And then 90 days, you eat the food that she tells you to eat. You do the exercise that she tells you to do. And after 3 months of it, you go back in and you have all of your measurements done again. And the before and after pictures are freaking jaw-dropping. They're astonishing. And it's not like some fringe thing. It happens, and it happens for a lot of people. MoreGainsFitness.com.
See, if you were to take my approach, go into marriage letting yourself go.
Yeah.
So then it's not noticeable.
Oh, is that what's not noticeable? That you've let yourself go?
Yeah, because you already let yourself go before you got married.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that was my strategy.
No, you've slimmed down tremendously since you got married. How much weight have you lost since you got married?
Well, I can't wear the suit I had that I got married in.
Right.
I had to give it away. Probably about staying around that 70 mark.
70 pounds.
Mm-hmm. I was a fatty Bill Blatty.
Were you ever 3 bills?
No, it was 298.
298. How tall?
5'10".
Right.
5'9", whatever. I don't know
He
why.
tried to tell me he was like 5'11" once, and I'm like,
why would I say that?
I don't know.
My driver's license doesn't even say that.
I
Why
don't
would
know. Wait, you have to have ID?
Yeah.
You have ID?
Yeah, and they pulled me over and they're like, "There's no way you're 5'10". I was like, "You've been talking to Wendy Bell. Damn you."
They're like, "That's fake news. Cite him, Sarge."
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, I told him to send the bill to you.
That's the way I roll, babe. What's everybody saying?
Hopefully
How are
they're
you?
saying 1 or 2 of the where you should take
So one was bourbon and two is Tennessee?
No, Tennessee. Say just Tennessee or bourbon. See, I look at it this way too. You go on these trips and you don't want to have to pay for anything. So either way, like you go to a bourbon trip, you're like, I have to get a bottle from this place. I have to get a bottle from that place.
That could be on you. I don't have to pay for that. Why would I pay for that?
All inclusive.
As long as I don't have to go, right?
Oh, you don't want to go?
Why would I go on your bourbon tour? It's nothing I ever said I wanted to do. You said you wanted to do it. So get people together to do it. See, he just wants the card. I know.
I thought that was abundantly clear. I didn't think we needed to
I know.
straighten that out.
Wow. Shucks.
Yeah, here we go. Big trip.
There's no big trip.
Everyone's invited on the Wendy Bell Radio.
There's no big. Welcome back to the Wendy Bell Radio program. Yesterday, I got a surprise. This has absolutely nothing to do with this segment, but I was just thinking about it. So it's weird. I have 5 kids. 1 moved out. 3 are working at summer camp. They're counselors in Ohio. They're gone for 8 weeks. Literally, they come back, and 2 days later, we take the youngest. Well, we take the 3 to college. I've been home with literally by myself. My second son, Jack, is working full time, trying to get into graduate school. He's a figment of my imagination. And literally, I go home and I'm like, I've got time. I don't have dentist appointments to take anybody to. Nobody's got a play date. Nobody's got baseball practice. I don't have to worry about. It is so boring. God. All of you out there were like, I can't wait to be an empty nester. Well, hit the brakes on that. Yesterday, Murphy got up, got crazy. Our golden doodle, dumber than a box of hair. Sweetest thing in the world. He's my best friend. And he started going haywire. And I realized that my son, Ryan, had surprised me with 3 of his friends from camp. They get 24 hours off. And they decided to pop in and say hi. And I just about cried. How silly. And then I did what every mom does. I'm like, all right, boys, sit down. Let me make you something to eat. Right? I made guacamole. I got out the chips. I got out some peaches. We made some cold cuts. I made them submarine sandwiches. Who wants a quesadilla? Short order cook. Literally 17 minutes. Hi, Mom. Bye, Mom. I love you. Bye. And off they went. And my heart was full. How can something so simple, it's not complicated, makes such a difference? That's a frustration, you know? We're all going through the same stuff. We might live in different places. We do different things. We have different families and we were raised different ways. But at the end of the day, really, how different are we? We're not. You know, if our families were as dysfunctional as our government, and the whole apparatus around it, gosh, that would beat you down. Wouldn't it beat you down? It'd be horrible. For like literally, it was 20 minutes. And it was like everything turned around. Amazing. What's going to turn around this chapter for us? You know, because I went back, there's this NBC story that came across my social media feed, and it's not that old. This is from 2024. I mean, literally, this is the last big election. And it's a reporter for NBC. President Trump, then candidate Trump, is on the campaign trail. And there are clips of this. This is October, September maybe. So just a couple months before the presidential election in November of 2024. And President Trump then is talking about illegal aliens voting. And he's like, it's illegal as hell. It's not right. It's against the law. They know it. They know it's happening. They need it to keep happening. It has to stop. We need to fix this. This cannot happen again. What happened to me in 2020 cannot happen again. And so this is NBC right in that time period before the 2024 election, running interference on Trump's claims then that the elections are being impacted by illegal aliens. Now, it's a 2-minute story, but we've got to cut it up in 3 pieces because it truly is unbelievable to look at where we are now, what we know now about the pervasiveness, which we're just getting a hint of illegal voting in this country, whether it be illegals or dead people or whomever it is, the degree of the issue, we're just starting to understand. But this is how they were running interference to fact check it. NBC in this clip from September of 2024 features President Trump in the run-up to the election saying illegals are signing up to vote. It's illegal. NBC then jumps in, this news babe jumps in and fact checks the president and says, no, in fact, he's wrong. Illegals voting does not happen definitively. Listen.
On the debate stage.
A lot of these illegal immigrants coming in, they're trying to get them to vote.
And at campaign stops across the country.
They're not citizens. They're not allowed to do it. It's illegal as hell.
Former President Trump frequently repeats false claims about migrants voting.
They can't speak a word of English for the most part, but they're signing them up.
That's not true. It's illegal for non-U.S. citizens to vote for president or in any federal election. And there have been few recorded incidents of non-citizens trying to vote illegally. There's also no evidence of anyone trying to get undocumented migrants to vote, according to experts. Those 17 different cities and towns allow people who are not U.S. citizens to vote locally, including in D.C., where non-citizens, even those here illegally, can vote in local elections.
So tell me how that makes any sense. It's not happening at the national scale because it's illegal. So that's just right there. That's not happening. The law says you can't do that, and so nobody does. It's cut and dry. But we think it's perfectly reasonable at the local level. At least in 17 municipalities that we've examined at NBC News, they think it's perfectly reasonable for people who've broken our laws to come in and make decisions about our freaking school boards. Literally, that's what she's saying. She's like, yeah, that's false, Mr. President. You don't know what you're talking about. They're not voting in the big elections. They're just voting in the small elections because that makes sense. It's inclusive. That's the next thing that happens. Literally, this is what they were telling us. This is how they fact-checked President Trump. He's been saying this for the better part of 10 years. Now, they're going to take us to a polling place. The news reporter is going to do her stand-up, you know, when she's walking down the hallway and she's got something to tell you. And she's going to say, hey, look, here's an illegal casting a ballot. And then the DC City Council guy comes in and he's like, nope, no fraud here. We know how to make it safe and secure. Really?
Here at this voter registration fair in D.C., any D.C. resident can register to vote, even if they're not an American citizen. But when they get to the polls, they'll be given a different ballot, like this one, that only lists local candidates for positions like the school board and city council.
I do not have a driving license or a social security.
We changed the law to make sure that all local residents are able to help have a vote and have a say in their government and the decisions they make.
Charles Allen is on the D.C. City Council.
Could you be registered in, say, another country and vote here?
No, you would have to be a resident here and claim residency here for more than 30 days. So we've seen hypotheticals where people throw things like that out, and they just don't happen.
Really? Do you guys believe that? Well, we let people who are here illegally vote because we're inclusive. But in the same breath, we're going to say, but we give them this provisional ballot. There's no way this is going to be counted at the federal level. And we'll just put it over here. Really? Is that safe and secure? And then you've got the liberal city council guy who's like, we don't want to disenfranchise anybody. I do. You broke the law to come into my country. Why? There's a process. Why aren't you following the process? NBC has no problem whatsoever with illegal aliens there. So they're like, well, I don't know hablo inglés. Okay? What? No problem with that. And finally, the news babe admits, well, you know, they have been voting in Texas. But here where I am, it's absolutely not happening. Right.
The state of Texas says it's found almost 2,000 non-citizens who have previously voted, but it's unclear if they've been charged, and liberal advocacy groups question the claims. Still, the laws allowing non-citizens to vote locally have sparked backlash across the country and fueled Trump's claim of widespread migrant voting, which have been echoed by Elon Musk and conservative media hosts, and inspired a bill that would require proof of citizenship to register to vote.
If you've seen the form, you just check a box. So non-citizens are on voter rolls.
The right to vote now under an even sharper spotlight as the election looms.
What does that even mean? What does that even mean? The right to vote now under an even sharper spotlight as the election looms. If you're not a resident, if you don't belong in America, if you broke our laws to get here, you shouldn't vote. That's not your right. You don't have that right. And no liberal and no news babe is going to tell me otherwise. Well, it happens, but it's really not that big of a deal. It's not even not a big deal. It's non-existent. Which one is it? Which one is it? You know what it is. They know what it is. They need it to keep happening. Allison Steinberg, Lindell TV with Representative Max Frost from Florida. She's outside the Capitol waiting for some of these folks to walk by. And she's like, hey, New Jersey just admitted 6,600 illegals are registered to vote at a minimum. And then comes this broad, a Democrat congresswoman named Emily Randall. And she drops the affected, toxic, college-educated liberal chick right on you. Listen.
That's breaking news. Making sure.
I just saw that. Yeah, they disclosed it. They're going to fix it.
6,600
with laws that they have on the books.
Yeah.
6,600 individuals didn't vote illegally.
That's not for certain. I mean, they're registered, so they could if they wanted to, right?
But there's an independent investigation that New Jersey has initiated, and so far the proof shows that a very, very, very small fraction voted illegally, and they have discovered this and they're going to continue investigating it. And I think like the point that for a very small percentage of error, we have error in every system. We have fraud in every system. There's a lot of fraud coming out of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. To make it more difficult for the vast majority of Americans to vote because of a very small percentage of error and fraud is not popular. It's not popular amongst the American people, and it's basically a poll tax.
But that's an admission that a small percentage of illegals are voting, right? Thank you, Congresswoman.
That question. So there you have a liberal congresswoman who's like, it's such a small problem, it's not a big deal. And changing the rules to make everybody show and prove who they are, it's so onerous, it's so arduous, it's just so hard. We're going to disenfranchise people. We shouldn't do that. Let's just believe everybody, because I'm sure they're telling the truth. That's what you call a moron. Here's Robert Garcia, speaking of, right? And he's like, we don't want to talk about fraud and waste and grift. We just really need to hang on and win these midterm elections and start doing what we know we do best. Our number one goal, impeach Trump.
As far as should Donald Trump be impeached, first of all, Donald Trump commits an impeachable offense weekly. I mean, we could be impeaching the president every single week if we had the votes. And I think it's important to also note that he's not going to be convicted by this Senate. I mean, we're going to get past this election. Let's see where the numbers are. I think everything should always be on the table.
Don't you ever wonder why they never push back? Why doesn't Ari Melber there? Is that his name? I think it is. Why doesn't he push back and say, well, give me something impeachable the president did this week? Give me something, impeachable. Tell me something. I wish Allison Steinberg had said that to that representative, Emily Randall, who alleges that the corruption over at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue at the White House. That's the real story. Tell me what's going on that's corrupt. Tell me one thing this president has done that is illegal, that is corrupt, that is fraudulent, that's against the law. Tell me one thing. And then they'll be like, you should be ashamed that you're asking me that question. And then they'd walk away and you're like, well, that's a liberal. There you go. NBC running interference years ago when we knew years ago that this was a problem. Nothing ages well for the left, does it? Fact check them now. Whoops. When we come back, is it me or is Gavin Newsom sounding super rattled now that HHS is withholding $800 billion in probably bogus Medicaid payments from them? You listen, you decide. Next on the Wendy Bell Radio Network. He's wrong. That's what that NBC reporter said. He's wrong. Experts tell us nothing ever happens that's wrong. And you're like, Really? Which experts? Because that's bullcrap. Isn't it exhausting? All right, so I started drinking. Today's my first day. I'm going to do it until I drink the whole daggone bag. LTV, liver support. I never thought about hydration and water. I know I don't drink enough water, but I have to go to the bathroom every 4 minutes if I drink a lot of water, and it's super hard to do when you have my job, right? I'm not up every 2 minutes. When I started reading about LTV, and this is something specifically for hydration of your liver, did you know that you could drink all the water in the world and still have a dehydrated liver? I did not know that until I started paying attention to this product. All right, you feel, let's say, sluggish, you feel dull. I think that's probably the best word for it. Do you ever look in the mirror and your skin looks dull and your color looks dull and you're just, ugh, and there's just nothing vibrant or going on about you? Well, when I started reading about dehydrated liver and how it manifests itself, I was like, I bet a lot of people out there don't realize they could get some serious hydration into their liver and perk up their lives. That's what this is all about, okay? So I'm going to tell you, you're going to get up to 64% off. Drink LTV. I just started drinking it. It's a flavor, like a citrus flavor. It's really quite delicious. And I'm going to tell you, let's see. Let me see. If you're bloated, you feel bloated, if you feel tired, if you feel dragged out all of the time, this could be a problem for you, a dehydrated liver. Why not try this with me? That's what I'm doing. Mine come in little packs. Drink LTV like this right here. Put it in your drink. It's delicious and it helps you out. And I'm going to see if this is going to make a difference. If you would like to join me, please do. Up to 64% off. DrinkLTV.com. I don't want to feel bloated. I don't want to feel bleh. Let's see what's in it. It's all the good stuff you need. All the good stuff you need. Stuff hopefully I can pronounce. Let's see. Vitamin C, magnesium, potassium, milk thistle, some fruit extract, dandelion root. Hydrate your liver. Liver support, hydration boost. I'm in. 64% off. Sounds good. Are you doing it with me or not? Are you?
What?
Are you doing Drink LTV with me?
No.
No? All right.
I drink a lot of water.
But that's just it. It's not about water. Water doesn't hydrate your liver. The right ingredients do. So when I come in and you guys are like, wow, she is freaking fabulous and glowing, I'll be like,
I turned up the filter.
No.
Oh.
No, I'll say it's that. DrinkLTV.com. Oh, what's inside? Dandelion root, some berry, magnesium, potassium, vitamin C, no added sugar, milk thistle, taurine, Pacific sea salt. It does have a little salty flavor. It's delicious.
I told Toolsy about the trips.
Oh,
I
Jesus.
said one or the other, and he said, why not both? I like his thinking.
So you have a boyfriend you can travel with now. That's good. You guys can go live it up. Right? Is everybody working with me, tracking with me here? Yeah. That's what I thought.
Yeah, the problem is shut off the card.
Why? You know, I think the frustration for so much is, for a lot of us, it's like all of the things we talk about, it seems like every day. These have been problems for a while. And in fact, in the next hour, I encourage you to hang out, especially for the second half of the next hour. Because when you see how much money we spend in federal grants that are supposed to go to various projects, whether they be about insurance for children or WIC for pregnant women or Medicare, whatever the program is, how much of the money that is ours that the federal government sends to these various agencies to quote unquote help American citizens, how much ever is actually tracked down to the ultimate recipient? So if I say I'm giving aid to such and such of a project, how much of my dollar amount is going there? There's a huge review of this. Holy cow. It further underscores why they hate you, why they hate Trump. They need the grift forever. This is kind of interesting. Gavin Newsom, who has all but fallen off of the face of the earth with this presidential polling. As I was starting to show with you, AOC at the top of the heap, followed 1 point next to her by Pete Buttigieg. Gavin Newsom somewhere, 10 points or what have you. He had been 36. Some polls have him down at 18% now. His political star has all but crashed. And it's the stuff involving he and his wife, their finances, these grants going on there, this diaper program that goes to Jennifer Newsom's friend, her own nonprofit giving her money, $300,000. It's just too much. And people are like, yeah, you kind of suck as a governor and you make me uncomfortable because I don't think you're believable. Well, now it's come out from Bobby Kennedy and Dr. Oz. We're done giving you automatic payments. We're going to stop the automatic payments for what we believe is welfare fraud and grifting off of the kindness of the American taxpayer. So we're going to freeze $800 billion in payments to the state of California. And those people can prove to us that they are valid and should be receiving of this money. Until then, we're going to sit on it. We'll see what happens. Gavin Newsom is petrified. And so you're going to get like something here. We're going to start with a little recap. RFK and Dr. Oz saying we're done. We're done paying for things that are clearly scams. And then Gavin Newsom asked about this withholding of $800 billion at some event in an airport hangar yesterday. He looks either that he's coked out or he's absolutely scared to death. And his voice sounds it too. Listen.
If those states want that money, they need to provide documentation that these payments are legitimate.
If it smells like fraud, we're not paying for it anymore.
Come on. This is exhausting. I've never seen anything like this. And so we'll work through the process. We take fraud seriously. We don't politicize it like these guys. Always have. Open hand, not a closed fist. We've been working with them in good faith. And we're providing the information and have been, and will continue to try to root out any corruption and fraud that we see. And if they see something we're not seeing, we'll celebrate and applaud them.
His voice is wavering. It's shaky. He looks like his lifeblood just slipped through his fingers. I don't know if Gavin Newsom is making money off of all of the fraud and the waste and the abuse in California. I mean, his multiple super duper expensive family homes seem to be a bit puzzling. His wife and all of her quote unquote nonprofit work. I mean, I think they personally are dirtbags. How much is actionable? I don't know, but I know they're under investigation. And I don't know about you, but as a party, would I want a guy who's under investigation? No. It's different than Donald Trump being under investigation in witch hunts because they tried desperately to sink him and they couldn't. And he's the one guy who's holding the plug to the swamp, to the drain of the swamp. That's what he's doing. That's scary. And that what he says, what Gavin Newsom drops, he has these like focus group lines that he drops on people. I don't want somebody out of central casting. I don't want somebody who's been coached by the insultants on what to say and how to say it. I want somebody who gets up, warts and imperfections and all, and comes out and says, look, I'm not the smartest person. I'm not the best looking person. I'm not the most fabulous person ever, but I will not screw you. I will tell you the truth. That guy. These people who've been running Capitol Hill and our state governments for far too long have been all the wrong people. All the wrong people. And they led us down all the wrong paths. And the people who need help in the United States of America, the richest place on planet Earth, never should go to bed hungry or to bed on the street. When we come back on the Wendy Bell radio program, we're looking for Waldo, Mitch McConnell. But I'm asking for a friend. Who's seen Maxine Waters? She's been MIA. You want to know how many votes she's lost? she's missed. Where is, what's going on in Congress? Next on the Wendy Bell Radio Network. What have you, Laura from Knoxville texted me yesterday. Yeah, you want to know where Mitch McConnell is. We want to know where freaking Maxine Waters is. And then I found another guy, a Republican, who's been MIA for 4 months. Can you imagine having a job and just not showing up for 4 months? And still getting paid? Because they were.
I show up every day and barely get paid.
The story I like about Dr. Simkovich and his wife, Stacy, who's this badass business manager of the Simkovich Concussion Institute. Stacy, they had both been, I believe both had been married before, at least she had been, and was divorced. And she suffered a traumatic brain injury. And so Stacy went in to see Dr. Simkovich to be evaluated. And he healed her. And a little something happened. Fast forward now 20 odd years, and they've been married and running this really important business called the Simkovich Concussion Institute, where every day they get to help somebody come out of the hole, the darkness of a traumatic brain injury. And it's just as simple as that. What they do works. It's demonstrable. The website is a phenomenal landing page for you, SimkovichConcussionInstitute.com. And if you read about what they do, you might say to yourself, I never thought I would go to a doctor in Pittsburgh and get treated, but this seems like it's where I need to be. When you get to that point, you're going to call 412-366-3700. And they're going to evaluate you over the phone. You're going to get an MRI. They're going to look at it and tell you if they believe, before you spend $1, they're going to find out if you are indeed a candidate for what Dr. Simkovich does. And it's to heal people who have basically broken brains. It's fudged up down to the cellular level, things that you can't see. Dr. Simkovich can feel it by putting his hands in your mouth, feeling around the top of your mouth and various parts. And he gets you fixed. 412-366-3700. He's a good guy. That's a love story right there. A love story born from healing, which I think is pretty sweet.
Sounds like a Hallmark movie.
Does it?
Does anyone know if I respond to a comment in the comment section, if that person gets an alert that I responded to them?
Here, I'll write something. Respond to me. We'll see. We'll see if it responds to me, if it responds to everybody. Do you see how I take action? I'm a problem solver. I'm a big box thinker. That's how I roll. It takes a while. Let's see.
Brock put together a tour bus bourbon tour. Open up to all of us. I'll bet it's booked almost immediately. Shindig on wheels. See, I don't have to do any work. Like, I'd have to do it through like AAA or something. I don't want to be responsible for anything.
Yes, it did come to me, and Darius was in on it like white on rice. Go, my man.
Okay. So now you're going to find that comment. I'm just going to answer the comment because now I can't find it. For the person to ask where.
Hi, Ginger.
Oh, Dina 33. I'm responding to you right now.
Why don't you just tell her?
Oh,
she's listening.
She asked where I got the red light therapy for my back.
Dr. Michael Vactor, Harmony Family Chiropractic. He completely fixed my foot. 85%. Completely. It sucked. Four treatments. And the suck was only about 5 minutes of it. Tell me when it hurts. Now, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, I mean, she said it loud enough for everyone to hear. Ah, you son of a bitch.
Pounding this thing goes on my toe, and it's all scar tissue. And I'm like, ah! And he's like, tell me when you feel it. I'm like, now, you son of a bitch. And the people in the chairs,
I wasn't laughing. I
was dripping with sweat, literally dripping with sweat. It's because, when something scares you or hurts you, you're like,
I was stressed. I was concerned for Wendy.
Yeah, that happened.
The whole, you son of a bitch. And you see people, because they put you in chairs.
They're being like manipulated and moved
and you see people go,
like,
trying not to laugh.
Changed my life. I tried to get him on as a sponsor. He should be a sponsor of this program because I could sell him every freaking day of the week and twice on Saturday. Every single day. To go from walking with a limp and feeling constant pain to not. Just saying. But don't call him now until we can get him on.
Call him now. He'll fix you. Like, he's a good dude too.
Yeah. Everybody we are around is just.
I've known him for years too.
Let's see. I have a couple sniper stories to read for you. We'll do it at the next break. August is a good month. Granny loves us. Is it Granny or Grammy? Oh, Grammy. That's what I called my Gram. I wonder what my grandkids, if I have them, what they'll call me. Don't answer
Big
that,
Wendy.
Oh. Big Wendy. I don't know why Michael calls me that. I don't understand that. What is that? No, he calls me Big Bad Wendy.
To me, I've always heard him say Big Wendy. Because that's what I said to him. I was like, tell Big Wendy to book that trip. Big.
I'm so docile.
5, 4.
You really push your buttons.
2, 1. Wendy Bell, America's anchor mom, fighting for America 1 hour at a time. Welcome to the family. She once hosted a 3-hour show in just 15 minutes. She once intimidated the Electoral College to audit itself. Her monologues are so sharp, they're considered a concealed carry weapon. Fact-checker sites routinely issue her a retraction a week in advance. Even her commercial breaks trend on social media. Her freedom of speech has diplomatic immunity. She doesn't just drain the swamp has to ask for cab fare. Wendy Bell is the most interesting conservative woman on radio. Keep rumbling, my friends. 3 hours of bold truth and excellence. You've just signed up for the WBR Army. Strap in. This is the Wendy Bell radio program.
Welcome back to the Wendy Bell radio program. Hour number 3 of the show on tap right now. I'm gonna get to you about a few of our House of Representatives, a few of our Congress people who are MIA. We don't know where they are. Why? And Mitch McConnell still missing. Have no idea where that cat is, but there's a poll out about him and how many people think he's dead. Honestly, if you don't know that polling is a gauge of the opinion of how long the deep state can continue with a really crap story, that's the deal. But before we get to that, and we're going to talk about Maxine Waters. Where's she been? She's been gone. MIA. She's missed a bunch of votes, like 100. And it's so peculiar. We're going to talk about that. But I want to read you this. This is something that came across my desk here and just within the last hour or so. It's from the Gateway Pundit. This is how bad the scams are. I want you to imagine in your mind the last person, aside from somebody living in a tent, homeless, who would be giving money to Act Blue, Democrat fundraising apparatus. It'd probably be an elderly old woman living in a trailer. And I'm not talking about a double wide. I'm talking about a camper that you pull on the back of a truck to the campground for the weekend. An 88-year-old woman, this is her home, a camper. Elderly Michigan widow in a trailer, shocked to learn that she's a mega donor to the Democrats, who apparently gave $150,000 to Act Blue over 5 years while living on a pension. An 88-year-old widow living in a trailer in rural Michigan has been listed as funneling over $150,000 to Democrat causes through Act Blue. Not only is it not her money, it's some dark money from Neville Singham or from Klaus Schwab or from whoever the dark force is, Reid Hoffman or the other guy, George Soros, right? And they funnel it through unsuspecting people who maybe have given $1 or $2 in the past. And they make them these prolific Smurfs. They don't give any of the money. It's just their name and likeness that's on the list. Nearly 15,000 separate donations, averaging 8 a day, every single day, for 5 years. Does that seem like it's odd to you? Of course it is. The latest allegations come as Act Blue continues to face intense scrutiny from congressional investigators and federal authorities over its donor verification practices and allegations of potentially fraudulent contributions. Do you think, according to Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Charlie LaDuff, 88-year-old Elizabeth Waffle was stunned to learn the Federal Election Commission records attribute 14,696 separate donations, totaling nearly $150,000 to her name over the past 5 years. If Elizabeth had $150,000, she wouldn't be living in a trailer. Records indicate she averaged roughly 8 donations every day, including 47 donations to Democrat U.S. Senate candidate Abdul El-Sayed over the last 2 years. Man, I am sure that 88-year-old Elizabeth Waffle was like, that man, that man of mine, Abdul El-Sayed, I have to vote for him and give him money. Please. This is what we're up against. Every single turn, everywhere you go, there's someone there with a 2x4 to smash you in the face and take your wallet. And then when you come to, they tell you a lie about how it happened and no, you're mistaken. It wasn't a lot. It's just a little hit. You'll be fine. It's more pervasive than anything. It's everything. It's everywhere. It's every pet project. It's every item on the agenda. It's every victim that these people come forward and say they're trying to help. Everything is a freaking grift. And we can't even get people in office to show up or to be honest about their absence. Now, if you went to your job and something happened to you and you were sick and you needed a prolonged time off, you'd have to clear it with your bosses. You'd have to make sure you had to leave. A lot of people get squeezed in these circumstances, right? Well, not if you're a congresswoman or if you're a senator. Apparently, you don't have to worry about that. While we're looking for any sign of life of Mitch McConnell, right? Where's Maxine Waters been? Apparently, June 24th was her last known appearance on Capitol Hill, or was it? She's lost so far this congressional session, this legislative session, 206 votes. She's 84 years old. She's not, right? She's not like she's running for governor. And so she had like Nancy Mace was running for governor. So Nancy Mace missed like 90 roll call votes, what have you. Well, you kind of get that. Wesley Hunt also running for Senate, running for whatever he was running for. And he missed a lot of votes. This is different. Where's Maxine Waters? We hear some people say that apparently other people in the House, even maybe Hakeem Jeffries or Jamie Raskin, have been voting on her behalf. Is that possible? Maxine Waters apparently doesn't remember who she is most days. Nurses at the San Recto Medical Center say she qualifies for basically drooling into a cup status, and there's nothing left of her. Now, this is some X page. I can't verify this. But if you try to get in touch with her congressional staffers, they won't answer your call. Just like Mitch McConnell's. Where's he been? It's been 39 days. Who's gone the 3 miles from the Senate building over to George Washington Medical or whatever the hell it is? Thomas Jeff, I don't even know what the name of the hospital is. Nobody's gone over there. Proof of life. But then there's this guy. You guys know who Tom Keene is? No, you don't. He's a New Jersey Republican congressman. His dad and his grandpa, I think his dad was governor, his grandpa was a senator, whatever. Well, he hasn't voted since March 5th. He hasn't been seen since April. Dude's lost 120 roll call votes. Where is he? March, April, May, June, July. We're 4 months in, guys. Anybody? Bueller? Well, NPR finally did some digging. Thank you to them. Representative Tom Keene returns to Congress, says depression is why he went missing for months. And we're just finding out about it. You were off for 4 months. Now you're just telling us that, yeah, things got a little gnarly and I needed some time. Well, hello? New Jersey Republican Thomas Keene Jr. said it was struggles with depression and kept him away from Congress for nearly 4 months with no explanation to his constituents. Like, where did these people answer to us? Yeah, they've got a building surrounding them. They've got staff preventing you from getting behind that door. Aren't these people supposed to answer to us? Isn't that the way the system is supposed to work? Keene last voted on March 5th, missing numerous votes and other appearances on Capitol Hill since. In April, House Speaker Mike Johnson told reporters he'd spoken to Keene, that he was dealing with an undisclosed medical issue. Keene was not spotted until recently at his New Jersey home. So speaking from the House floor on Tuesday, the second-term lawmaker said he'd checked into the hospital for testing several months ago after health concerns and was subsequently diagnosed with depression. Talking about myself has never come naturally, but I believe that I owe you an explanation. To the people of New Jersey's 7th District, to my colleagues in this chamber, to the American people for my absence. He said he originally didn't think his diagnosis would result in a long-term absence. Doctors recommended he remain in the hospital to address his illness, as it was his fastest route to recovery. How many people have checked out of Congress? Who's watching? It's the same question. Who's watching where the money's going with USAID? Who's watching who's spending, quote unquote, $150,000 through Act Blue? Who's watching where the trillions, it's like $2.77 trillion of federal grant money, your taxpayer money. Who's watching if it actually gets where it's supposed to go? Oh my, that story is coming up, ladies and gentlemen, and it will leave you gobsmacked. Now for the amazingly disappearing Mitch McConnell and his cover-up. I want to read this to you. Here we go. No, Daily Mail JL Partners poll conducted between July 17th and 20th. 1,021 registered voters found that only 9% are very confident Mitch McConnell will remain alive through the end of his term. That's January. Another 17% are somewhat confident, while nearly half of voters are doubtful, including 24% who are not very confident and 25% who are not confident at all. The poll also found 30% of voters claim McConnell is no longer alive. 30%. 1 in 3 now believe Mitch McConnell is dead. So they're putting out the polling to gauge public opinion. And it is from these results and people's comments to it that they're going to determine, should we finally come out and admit it? Or are we going to wait until August? Why would they wait? I'll explain next on the Wendy Bell Radio Network. The polling is always the Chinese spy balloon. That's the one that they put up in the air to see who's paying attention. What's everybody think about that? Do they think he's alive? Do they think he's dead? Do they think he's sick? Have we blown this over? Or are they not falling for it? What's the gauge? And it's from that poll then that the next story comes out. And then maybe there's Harry Enton over by the wall flapping his arms about something about Mitch McConnell.
Listen, if he was still alive,
I love when you start with that.
They'd have video, not necessarily audio.
Yeah.
But they'd show him walking down, or even being
walk
wheeled
with
in a
his IV,
wheelchair.
yes.
Like there's Mitch McConnell getting wheeled to rehab. But they give you something. That's why I believe the bitch Mitch is dead. You know,
they could even
ding dong, the Mitch is dead.
They could have even fashioned some likeness of a Mitch McConnell, being wheeled down a hospital corridor or what have you, and pretend like it was somebody who was catching it. Oh, I wasn't supposed to catch this, but look. But the problem is everybody's so freaking skeptical. We've all been lied.
Privacy.
We've all been lied to so many times that people would be fact checking that like white on rice. People would be like, "Is that really the shape of his head?" And they'd be. How many of the videos of Joe Biden walking around in the Oval Office, or rather in some of the parts of the White House where you see his head disappear because it's walking through a green screen?
Yeah.
Or how about where he's going out with the
hedges.
reporters and he's reaching and his hand, you see it go through the green screen and you're like, why are you guys all bells and whistles?
And on top of that, you mean to tell me someone couldn't record a phone call with them? Like, give me something to at least throw me off the scent.
Nobody has tried.
Scooby and Shaggy said, we don't need to treat snacks on this one because this one was way too easy.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
We'll give you this one for free. I texted you.
Disinfect with Sniper. Disinfectwithsniper.com.
You can spray it on everything. Toilets, countertops, sinks, dishwashers.
Yes.
Washers.
By the way, the rubber ring on the front loading washer and the pull out thingy dingy, the soap thing, you spray that and you way mitigate the smell of mildew and the appearance of mold.
Your outdoor dog waste bag.
Your shower, spray Sniper on the floor, fungal infections, killed. It's the ultimate. I will tell you, and it's stupid to say this.
And all the sister products too.
I do not get sick. I probably get sick maybe once a year. It's been a while.
Me.
It's just been a while, and I'm going to say that I keep a lot of things clean. I mean, I spray it in my hands in the car. I use it as a hand sanitizer, like after filling up the tank.
If you get a cut on your hands,
you put that on it, watch it heal, watch it protect you from infection. Yeah, if you get a cut or a burn or something, I would spray it on it and then wrap it constantly. Absolutely. Disinfectwithsniper.com. It's like, I'd say it's magic.
It's not magic. It's science. The good science. It kills COVID. Science kills science.
Trust the science, Brock.
Yeah.
If you don't trust me, you don't trust science.
We need to put this back in the rotation.
Uh-oh.
It's for Larry.
For the email, he said, Wendy, about Mitch McConnell. Kentucky uses special elections. It takes 3 to 4 months to set up into a special election, costs millions of dollars. So if they get past the first week of August, they can say, let's do it in November with the regular election. So apparently there's some financial strategizing in the state of Kentucky, which might, I don't know, entice people to keep Mitch alive, at least as figments in our imagination for a little bit longer. I mean, the 3rd of August is just, a couple of days away, 10 days away or so. I don't know what the situation is in Kentucky, but I know that we're not being told the truth. We're just not. Apparently, John Thune is not at all pleased that Caroline Leavitt in a live press conference just said that President Trump is very upset at Thune, and that he basically said, get it done. Get the votes. Get them across the finish line, John. It's your job. And apparently Thune fuming back. Maybe Caroline should tell the president he should get on the phone and start making some magic happen. Apparently, John Thune was the wrong guy for that job. It's almost like we saw that coming, right? Larry Kudlow yesterday, wow, punches a rhino right in the teeth. Oh, Larry, you're my hero, babe. As much as Democrats reject the dangers and the crazy of communism, MAGA, too, has had enough of the rhino suck. Here, Larry Kudlow, over on Fox Business, he asks his friend, Rhino Senator James Lankford, what the hell are you guys doing over there on Capitol Hill? I mean, and Larry drops the gloves. Lankford plays the blame game, of course, which is extraordinarily off-putting. But this is attack. I like it.
Right now, you, the leadership in both houses, are bungling everything, sir. I say that with all due respect, and we are personal friends. It's not, but you're bungling everything. Nothing is getting done. Your messaging is non-existent. You've lost your swag, your swagger, your riz, or whatever the young people say. No one knows what the heck you're doing, sir. They have no idea.
Yeah, you're welcome. And this is part of the challenge we've got with all of our media friends out there that continue to be able to beat up on Republicans and say Republicans are all the problem. But apparently the socialist Democrats in New York City, they seem to be perfect because most conservative media right now is beating up on Republicans and just ignoring the socialists who are running rampant all over the country. So I look back on what happened with the One Big Beautiful Bill. Look at the housing bill we just passed. There's a lot of things that are going on that are good, and I understand.
Nobody has attacked Mondami more than I have, for heaven's sake. That isn't the point.
I wasn't saying that just about you. I was saying
that isn't the point.
This is the challenge that we're up against right now.
What is it that your policy is? Senator Lankford, my friend, what is your policy? Where are the tax cuts? Where are the spending cuts? Where's the waste, fraud, and corruption reduction? Where is all of that? Where is the reconciliation bill? Where's the straight talk and messaging for the midterms? Where's the growth messaging? Where's the we're going to make it better for taxpayers and working folks messaging? Come on, Senator.
And he goes on, and I've run long in this segment, but I want to say this. He then, for James Lankford to not take responsibility, to not be connected to the frustration of not just Republicans, but the entire people, the group called America, at the lack of any kind of progress. What are you doing? And literally, Larry comes back and he cuts off James Lankford again. And he's like, tell us, how are you changing mortgage rates? How are you changing gas prices? How are things becoming more affordable? What the hell are you doing? It was almost uncomfortable. It's so dang necessary. See, I even think Trump is super out of touch with the regular person. You don't go out and tout an extra $1.5 trillion in defense spending. You don't go and brag about we're the best, we're the most lethal, we're all this, and we need more money. When you run on making things less expensive, our deficit is going to keep going up. It's the wrong message. Rhinos are missing it, but the Republican Party also, they're not listening to people on the street. They're not listening to you and me. Well, thank goodness the Treasury Department has stopped paying dead people. That's a bonus. But did you know that 75 cents of every dollar that we fund in federal grants to cities and states can't be tracked to their final destination? What? Where does the money go? Oh my goodness. Get ready. Next. Disinfectwithsniper.com. I was remiss to tell you guys that. Disinfectwithsniper.com. I went long. I wish I hadn't because Larry was good at this. But listening to James Langford, whose job is Bloviation 101. I saw him on, who was he on with? He was on CNN or Fox or whatever. They're all the same. And he talked for 3.5 minutes. 3.5 minutes is an eternity. And he just kept going. And yet the original question he never answered. And I'm like, or I can interrupt you and be like, look, I don't mean to be rude, but I asked you a very basic question. What are you doing? Because we don't see it. We don't see it. Then he says, oh, well, we're passing this housing bill. And Kudlow comes back and he's like, that's all great. But that was something that Elizabeth Warren has been pushing. Let's not act as though this is some big victory for the GOP. What are we doing? It's a great question. I think we all have it, right? All right, tomorrow, Cozy Earth. Tomorrow, a nice discount for Cozy Earth.
Why not today?
I don't like to do them so late. We could. You know, we climbed up to 570 people on X. That's pretty impressive. I looked over right out of the gates and it said 22. And I was like, ow, snap.
Did you take a calm this morning?
Why?
Just curious.
Yes. Why?
I was just curious.
Why? Hey, why? Oh, because you want me to talk about it.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know about that. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I thought he was accusing me of something, of being fabulous because I was on calm mode. HealthyCell.com/Wendy. He was correct. I need to tell you guys about Healthy Cell. And you guys, you know, I talk about this line of products. These are natural supplements, not natural dietary supplements that address a variety of needs that you might take pills for. You might take a whole encompassing multivitamin. You might take something for, blood sugar, cholesterol, all these different things. Healthy Cell has a formula, microgel formula for about 15 different things. Let me pull it up. Let's see if I can read it to you. Let's see. They have a formula for your heart and vascular health. They have a bioactive multivitamin. They have one for bone strength, one for joint health and mobility. There's a Healthy Cell that involves a daily multi with iron and omega-3s. Focus and recall. There's the immune super boost. Fantastic. There's the glucose support one, calm mood. Fantastic. Eye health, one called telomere health, which is for brain activity, vibrant hair, skin, and nails. And then they have a starter kit where you would get REM sleep, focus and recall, and a bioactive multi. It's great. HealthyCell.com/Wendy. I love them. I've got all of their boxes right here. And I take them. I take them every day. Brock, I'm so out of it. I didn't even know what you were doing. What a klutz. Oh, well, maybe it's time for a nap.
What are you talking about? I was just asking.
Oh, you weren't trying to get me to talk about them because I had forgotten to?
No, I was, but I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Well, no, I appreciate it. I need help. Tom Keene, where you been, Tom? Like, why don't you tell people? Maxine, apparently at the San Recto Medical Center. It sounds dubious. Who knows? Sources, I'm going to see if there's even a San Recto Medical Center. What do you want to bet? San Recto Medical Center.
Yes. Doc Vaughn, that chiropractor did use shockwave on Wendy's foot.
Yeah, I had red light therapy. I had
the shockwave.
Shockwave, and then I had this percussion. It's like hammering. It's like he holds it and it goes like a little jackhammer, and he runs it up and down your foot, and you're like.
And you know how you know it works? Not covered by insurance.
Right?
I say that all the time. If something isn't covered by insurance, it must work.
Let's see. Is there a San Recto?
Worked on me. 2 tons of stone, a ton of sand, 2 tons of dirt.
There's a Recto Avenue. See, you never know what people are posting, if it's true, if it's not, but you can easily fact check and see if Maxine Waters and these other people have not been there. They haven't. Okay. Hey, it's okay to be 84, but it's okay to go home. It's okay to retire.
Not when you have to keep the grift going, keep your lifestyle.
So
tempted. Is it going up?
I don't have time, I don't think.
You have 28 seconds. You got time. Go ahead. How fast can you do it? Not fast enough.
Wow.
He's going to run out of time.
Right.
Here we go. Out of time. All right.
Agree with me on this statement that dead people should not be getting our money any more than they should be voting in our elections. Did you hear about President Trump's plan to stop the government from paying the dead? Because it is working. I mean, this is how knowledgeable I think this administration, they knew damn well what was going on. How about this? Treasury successfully implements new safeguard to stop payments to deceased individuals. Why wouldn't you have done that years ago? Because you're making money off of it. The U.S. Department of the Treasury and the Bureau of Fiscal Service announced the successful implementation of a new government-wide payment verification process that helps stop federal payments from being sent to dead people. I mean, how basic. Thank you. Fulfilling a key requirement of Executive Order 14249, protecting America's bank account against fraud, waste, and abuse. Remember how the left came out against this? Against Doge about any kind of fact-finding? You're such bad people. Go bomb a Tesla. Because that made sense. Treasury has delivered on a key promise of President Trump's mandate to stop improper payments and fraud before money leaves the Treasury. Apparently, they have peeled back already $100 million. You know, and isn't it funny? You read this, you hear this, and you almost glaze over. You're dealing with monopoly money. It's like you've got a handful of those 100s, the little pink 100s, and you're like, whatever, no big deal. $99 million right out of the gates. Let's carve out these 4,900 dead people who shouldn't be getting 99 million of our dollars. It's just one little thing, ladies and gentlemen. We all agree America is suffering an affordability problem. So wouldn't we all want to know where our money is going? How about peeling it back from people who ought not have it? That might put more cash in our pockets. Then there's this. A story from justthenews.com that had us digging. Watchdog says as much as 74% of federal grant spending in 2024 was untraceable to the local levels. 74%. That means 74 cents of every dollar that U.S. taxpayer money taken by the IRS and distributed from the government to go to this service and that program and that person and that. 74 cents of every dollar can't be found. We don't know where it went. We're supposed to go to that, but that doesn't have it. Somewhere along the way, it happened. Something happened to him. What is it? Where is it? This is a giant, giant story. A government watchdog group's new report on federal spending found it's unclear where hundreds of billions of grant dollars go once they reach the states. You don't say. The Project on Government Oversight downloaded and analyzed data from usaspending.gov that the nonprofit group says in a report released yesterday shows over 74%, $712.6 billion of $958.6 billion in domestic grant spending from fiscal 2024 couldn't be tracked to the local level. $712.6 billion. And we were blown away by the stuff Nick Shirley found. That's it. Blown away. Here we are in Southern California in Hospice Fraud Central. Look at all the cars. Here's a McLaren. Here's a Bentley. Here's a such and such. Here's a, I don't even know what the hot cars are now. Here's a G-Wagon that's wrapped. We thought that was insane. What? These individuals, these Armenians, Russians, Chinese folks, whoever the hell you are, Somalians, stealing $1 million here, $3 million there. That used to sound like a lot of money. Now it's sort of like $712.6 billion. I don't know where it is. Where is it? Trump administration confirmed with Justin News that the lack of accountability shown in the report's findings is why new rules have been proposed for federal grant making. Thank you. It's like getting Anthony Fauci the hell out of the chair at the NIH, where he dangled $20 million in grants to the scientists that signed off on his natural origins stupid paper, right? Let's get the fox out of the hen house. You're the clear and present danger. Officials at the U.S. Department of Treasury said that while they could not confirm the report's specific statistics, Secretary Scott Bessent continues making the efforts to crack down on similar fraud. They pointed to Tuesday's safeguard implementation to stop payments to dead people I just told you about. And that's to combat Somali fraud in Minneapolis. So I got to read you this because there's some links that you could click on this individual article. And I don't know, $712 billion is a hell of a lot of money. So we kind of opened this thing up. And we scrolled through this. Brock, I want you to open it up on your side too, because I sent it to him. There's a government group called POGO, Project on Government Oversight. And this is the project that tracked all of these taxpayer dollars, fixing a flawed system for federal spending data. This administration is trying to stop the waste, but it's also trying to fix the system that purposefully was made porous so that hundreds of millions or billions of dollars could just not end up where it was supposed to go. And I'm going to scroll down to the very bottom, the very last page, because this page is the one that tells us everything. You guys ready? It's an appendix. Data tables for program results, tracking prime awards, prime government grants to various local and state programs that reportedly need money. Let's find out how much money went and how much we found getting to that local level. You guys ready? Social Security retirement insurance. Well, $1 trillion of spending. All $1 trillion trackable to the local level. Okay. Good. So we got that going for us. What about this? Grants to states for Medicaid. $614 billion. What percentage of those payments are trackable at the local level? Meaning the people locally who needed it got the money. 0%. 0% of $600 and basically $15 billion grants to states for Medicaid. This is why Bobby Kennedy and Dr. Oz are dogs on a bone. How about this one? Brock, find one of your favorites. SNAP, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. How much do we give to SNAP to ostensibly go into our local communities and give to people who are hungry? $57 billion. $57 billion. No, excuse me, $84 billion. Zero of that money made it to the local people and is now traceable. Zero. Does that offend you? Brock, does that offend you?
Offends me.
You found one.
I like this one. Now, 40% of it is trackable. Temporary assistance for needy families. Isn't that welfare? Isn't that SNAP?
Yes.
Like, what's this program even?
How about this? Children's, what'd you get on that? How much?
$7.1 billion. Only less than half of it is trackable.
Do you guys know how much money that is? How about Children's Health Insurance Program, CHIP, right? Everybody and his brother knows what CHIP is. It's that great program when you fall on tough times. Don't you worry about it. The state's got you covered. We're going to take care of your child and make sure that they get everything that they need so they can grow up and be healthy. Yeah. $19 billion. How much of that is trackable at the local level? 0%. Zero. What? Where's the money going?
The 1332 state innovation waivers. What the hell is even that? $871 billion. 6.4% of that is trackable.
Temporary assistance for needy families. What does that even mean? What does that mean? Isn't that welfare? Is that food? What is that? Temporary $17 billion. 0% trackable. How about this? Pension plan termination insurance. We pay $14 billion a year for pension plan termination insurance. $0 of which 0% is trackable at the local level. What? What else, Brock?
How about WIC? $1.5 billion. Only 20% of it's trackable.
What?
So are the kids even getting the help? One
No.
in 5 kids aren't getting help. Or no, 4 in 5 kids aren't getting help.
Drinking water state revolving fund. Do you have Flint, Michigan on speed dial? Right? Drinking water state revolving fund. I don't even know what that means. $6.5 billion, only 7.9%. 517 million is trackable. You guys, that's not funny money. That's real money. State administrative matching grants for SNAP. So we have SNAP, none of which we can find. And then we've got SNAP Plus, right? This is extra. We needed a little bit more than we told you. So we have this SNAP Plus fund. Let's see how much that goes for here. State administrative matching grants for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. $6 billion, of which $3 million has been trackable to the local level. That's 0.1%. Do you guys see what we're coming up with? See, life becomes more affordable when you allow people or you prevent people from stealing your money, right? People in our communities, Americans, who need temporary assistance because they've fallen on tough times, they would get it and a bag of donuts if we didn't have everybody and his brother stealing it, lying about it, gaslighting us about it, and then just saying, no, I don't know, the system's broken. It must have been a glitch. Must have been a software glitch. This is real money that you really end up paying. This is what this government is unraveling, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back on the Wendy Bell radio program, things aren't looking so magical at Disney these days. I know. They should have probably stuck in their lane and not gotten involved in politics. I'll explain why next on the Wendy Bell Radio Network. I mean, we could go on and on. How many more? Foster care Title 4E. I agree that foster programs need help. $5 billion.
Here's the real question.
0%. Mortgage insurance, nursing homes, intermediate care. I mean,
Some of them say they're 100% trackable. What makes you believe that even, though? Because if the big ones aren't trackable, why are they tracking these little ones? And when I say little, I'm still talking
billions.
Yes.
Or hundreds of millions.
Millions.
Right? I mean, this is crazy. Now, this is fun if you are a locals member, and this is why we love the locals. Like, I write out the rundown every single day. Brock helps me come up with the stories, and he often populates the majority of it. I put it all in gear and try to present it to you, but we give you the rundown. The minute the page goes up, the stream goes up, our rundown is available. So anybody and his brother could steal the entirety of this show and make it their own show. But we give you all of the links because I know some of you want to go hunt and peck on your own. And that's where that big whopping $5 a month comes in. If you want to be a part of our locals page, just click the link there and you'll be able to.
WBR Army.
That's the button you have to click on. WBR Army
button.
And we feel guilty about charging you, even though it costs us to do all this stuff. So we give you 2 months free. What the hell? I think it's worth the $5. I love it. Right? It's our guide. It's our guide to what we do every day.
It costs you a day's pay.
Yes, Brock.
Less $1 more than a day's pay.
Yep. Keep working, babe. One of these days.
I mean,
of these days you'll break even.
I got up to $4.50 yesterday, and today, before the show even starts, back down to $4.
Well, I'm a woman. I feel like I should change my mind a lot. Thanks, Darius, for putting that out there.
I didn't say that.
What? That women change their minds?
Yeah.
Women are crazy. I know that. Guilty as charged. Whatever. But I'm also a lover.
I don't know about that.
So
I know about the crazy.
It all makes
I know
it work,
about
but
the crazy.
now here's Trump making sure electricity comes down. Electricity bills. He's at EPA headquarters. Like, they're trying everything they can try to do stuff. We peeled back $2 billion in gold bars that they were throwing off the Titanic, the EPA was, and giving to freaking Stacey Abrams. That chode.
Boob.
Oh, Disney. You know, I used to like Disney. We have such great memories. And then
I went once when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And all I ever remember from the trip, and I bet you if you ask my brother too,
well, you drove, which is the problem when right out of the gate.
Well, we drove, but
of course.
we couldn't afford to fly.
Well, of course. I mean, we lived in LA.
We didn't stay in Disney either. We stayed at a Hojo. Mm-hmm. And I remember the morning buffet breakfast, which, don't get me wrong, I love a good buffet. We saw cockroaches right across the floor, and I'm like, that's what I remember. Shit, 40 years later.
Isn't that amazing?
And then the whole thing was people going, "What's Florida? There's cockroaches everywhere."
Now they call them palmetto bugs.
Yeah, whatever.
And I'm like, that's a freaking roach the size of my hand.
I know. I felt like I could
lasso it,
sit on it, and ride it through the park. Start naming them.
To the Wendy Bell radio program. I mean, I haven't been in 10 years. 10 years. We took the kids there every year. Joe had a medical conference and we got to mooch off of drug reps, and then all that changed with Obama. But we used to go and live it up at Disney World. It was so much fun and never affordable. It's like the most expensive thing in the world. I don't know why it has to be so pricey, because it can, because it's magic. But it's not. I mean, I hope it is for you if you like Disney, right? Some people love it. Some people are like, I never got into that. I don't understand what's going on. But Disney is a cautionary tale about stay in your lane. You know, it's a story to Bruce Springsteen to stop talking about politics. Nobody gives a rip what you think. Sing your songs. It's about Hollywood. You want to put out a political movie? Nobody's interested. We get browbeaten every day with this crap. You know what we want? We want Top Gun Maverick. We want something to lose ourselves in. We want something that takes us somewhere that doesn't suck. It's been years since that's happened in cinema, right? Bad news for Disney. And I don't think this is good. Again, people lose their jobs, but I think Disney's made its bed, and my. Remember when they were like the Song of the South? That's racist. And you're like, it's a water ride. What are you talking about? Everything is racist. Okay, well, you know what? Now you suck, and I have no interest in coming to you. I refuse to spend thousands of dollars to come and pretend that I'm proud to be at your political statement. Remember when they waded in, Disney did in 2022, to the Florida Don't Say Gay bill that had nothing to do with that? It was all about, can we just stop reading, like sexualizing our children in the 3rd grade, 5th grade? Can we let our children like make it to middle school where they're on the cusp of sexual maturity and we could kind of walk them there without being gross and giving them weird books in our libraries? Can we do that without grooming our kids? And Disney was like outraged, and they decided to put their flag in the sand. And a lot of people stopped going. We did. Absolutely stopped going. And it sucks because I know my kids would love to go back, but none of them would want to go back until we could go back in time and have it be before they got political. Well, the news now is bad layoffs. Walt Disney Company has unleashed a fresh bloodbath across its entertainment empire. I wonder why. With Pixar taking a major hit despite the blockbuster success of Toy Story 5. Like, if you're at Ice Age 6, Toy Story 5, right? Where are the ideas? They got squashed by cancel culture. Everything got upside down and inside out. Anything that was traditional, anything that made you feel good. You know, I would take Old Yeller any day, not a Disney thing, but I would take something like that, or the Black Stallion, over any of these woke nonsense things they're trying to put out to push an agenda to basically young people. And so Pixar, they get clobbered. They got 118 layoffs. This is after a bundle of layoffs last time. I mean, Disney still employs a couple 100,000 people. Don't get me wrong. But I think we're well past done being lectured by people who don't have all the facts, but who are triggered. I'm not going to go pay to see your movie. I'm not going to come to your park. It's not the happiest place on earth. You ruined that. You got political. You strayed from your lane and you didn't use a signal, right? You're the jackass in the tunnel who changes lanes over the double yellow line who I want to throat punch and throw down the stairs. That's Disney. You done messed up.
They ruined Star Wars.
They ruined. Explain that.
They ruined Star Wars. They went woke on Star. As controversial as Star Wars got before Disney bought it was Luke kissing Leia, which was his sister.
Right.
And then they came along and
which you think they'd all want? You think they'd all want to talk about now?
Yeah, they fired the main lady,
Gina Carano.
Yeah,
they took her out because she's conservative. God forbid. God forbid you not be in line walking as a card-carrying member of the Democrat, Communist, Marxist, Socialist Party.
And I don't know if it was Disney, but Jar Jar Binks helped ruin it too.
That was just a dumb character.
What?
Why did you introduce somebody who was so freaking annoying? Right?
It was the first liberal in the Star Wars series. Couldn't speak, made no sense, ruined everything. Jar Jar Binks was the original Star Wars liberal.
Anyway, note to every other company out there, don't be like Disney. Don't be like Bud Light. Don't roll the dice with some DEI hire who thinks, you know what we should have as a trainee on the can of our beer. Don't do it. We like beer. We like amusement parks. We don't like your politics. Period. It's almost like that struck a nerve. I love you guys. Have a wonderful afternoon. We'll see you tomorrow when it's Friday. Peace.